her before letting go. Jiang Tiu called out sweetly. Thank you. Sister Tu Dao, calling her sister directly instead of sister-in-law. Clearly, she no longer acknowledged me as her brother, but that was exactly what I wanted. As I turned my back, the corner of my mouth lifted slightly. I booked a high-end Tuong-style restaurant. The average cost is over 800 yuan per person. It's nothing to me now, but the awkward thing was that I had booked a table for two. I didn't expect Jiang Tiu to follow. This time, it really looked like I was bullying my sister. I handed the menu to Ha Tu Dao. Tu Dao? Feel free to order whatever you want to eat. She looked at Jiang Tiu, a bit helpless. Jiang Tiu stood beside her, glaring at me angrily. Ha Tu Dao called the waiter over. Excuse me. Could you add another chair? Just put it next to him. This is my first time in Tuong then. You order. Jiang Tiu took the menu and specifically chose the most expensive dishes. In the end, she even ordered a portion of shark fin. She was clearly trying to rip me off. The waiter looked like he wanted to say something but stopped. Ha Tu Dao signaled for him to just serve the dishes as ordered. I deliberately didn't talk to Jiang Tiu, so she chatted with Ha Tu Dao, constantly bad-mouthing me, saying how I bullied her since we were kids. If this were before, I would have definitely retorted, but this time, I ate in silence, because they had formed an alliance. Ha Tu Dao even brought up the incident where I snatched her water to drink. Jiang Tiu became more and more animated as she spoke. She would glare at me from time to time. I kept my head down and ate. I didn't say a single word. After one meal, Jiang Tiu and Ha Tu Dao were already calling each other sisters. The two of them linked arms intimately. Jiang Tiu even deliberately separated Ha Tu Dao from me. Stay away from him, he's not a good person. When we got in the car, Jiang Tiu pulled Ha Tu Dao straight into the back seat. Through the rearview mirror, Jiang Tiu and I locked eyes. What are you looking at? Was I wrong? I shook my head helplessly. Where to next? Jiang Tiu didn't say anything more. Ha Tu Dao suggested. Let's go to the shopping mall. I want to buy some things, and pick a welcome gift for Taiyu while we're at it. I deliberately teased, a gift for her? What's so great about a tag-along that's worth a gift? Jiang Tiu immediately bristled. I already said it wasn't on purpose. Sister Tu Dao doesn't even mind, so why do you have to be so nosy? But, Sister Tu Dao, I really don't need a gift. I am not lacking anything. It's true, she's not lacking anything. I've already bought her enough clothes and cosmetics. Now, she's only missing that necklace. Before I could finish, Jiang Tiu glared over. She had coveted that little swan necklace for a long time, but it was their first meeting. How could she accept such a valuable gift? Ha Tu Dao changed the subject at the right time. Let's just go to the mall first. I need to buy a few outfits too. I nodded, started the car, and headed to the nearest shopping mall. As a provincial capital city, although Tuong then is not as prosperous as Jiang then, it has all the necessary shopping malls and large buildings. For me, I am more or less a semi-host in Tuong then anyway. The only headache is that it's currently rush hour. The roads are completely jammed. During the National Day holiday, the shopping mall is packed with people. We were stuck in traffic for over an hour before we could park the car. Strolling through the streets with Jiang Tiu and Ha Tu Dao, the rate of people turning their heads was sky high. Both of them are top-tier beauties. Either one of them alone is enough to stun the entire place. Although Tuong then has many beautiful women, there really aren't many who score above 90. Jiang Tiu deliberately kept a few steps away from me, but I still became the most envied guy here. Tu Dao, just let me know which clothes you like. This time, it was mainly to buy clothes for Ha Tu Dao. She had come in a hurry and didn't bring anything. Jiang Tiu was immediately jealous, muttering under her breath, my biggest dream in this life is to hear my brother say those words. I glanced at her. You don't want the necklace anymore. Jiang Tiu immediately fell silent. A great person knows when to yield and when to stand firm, even though she's a little girl. Ha Tu Dao smiled and asked, which necklace do you like? I can buy it for you. How could Jiang Tiu dare to accept? Although she had already accepted this sister-in-law in her heart, they had only known each other for a month. No need. Really. Sister Tu Dao. My brother already promised to buy me the necklace. I won't let this opportunity slip away. She said this while glancing at me proudly. Choosing clothes for Ha Tu Dao went very smoothly. Her taste is very good. Just like when she chose clothes for me at the beginning, the styles she picked all looked very good when worn. Every time Ha Tu Dao came out after changing into a new outfit, both my and Jiang Tiu's eyes would light up. Even a beauty like Jiang Tiu couldn't help but praise her. Sometimes, girls like looking at pretty girls even more than boys do. Brother, Jiang Tiu sat next to me, watching Ha Tu Dao try on clothes in the mirror. She suddenly said, I don't think you're worthy of Sister Tu Dao. My face darkened. What do you mean by that? Am I that terrible in your eyes? To be honest, just based on looks, I am indeed not on the same level as Ha Tu Dao. But I can earn money. Earning tens of thousands a day is no joke. Jiang Tiu giggled and said, I am not saying you're bad. It's just that Sister Tu Dao deserves someone better. Not a stiff person like you. I was about to retort. The system suddenly sounded. Ding. Random mission activated. Prove that you are the most suitable boyfriend for Ha Tu Dao. The deadline is 1 week. It will be graded based on the satisfaction scores of Jiang Xiaoxiao and Xia Sidao. The reward is unknown. I was stunned for a moment. I didn't expect that Jiang Xiaoxiao could also trigger a mission. This time, it's a timed mission with an unclear reward, but it's usually more generous. The key is to get a high score. Just shopping for clothes with them would probably only get me a passing grade. To get a high score, I have to think of another way. Jiang Xiaoxiao saw that I wasn't saying anything, so she ran off to help Xia Sidao pick out clothes. I quietly got up and left, and neither of them noticed. A good man should show his care through the small details. To get a high score, I walked into a women's lingerie store. When Xia Sidao arrived, she didn't bring anything with her. She didn't even have any underwear to change into. With Jiang Xiaoxiao around, she would definitely be too shy to go buy it herself. This task could only be left to me. Just consider it for the reward, I muttered as I pushed the door open, but as soon as I entered, I was dumbfounded. The various styles of lingerie made my head spin. I had no choice but to call a sales assistant for help. "Sir, what can I help you with?" An employee in uniform came over and asked. "Please get me 2 sets in size 34C. Simple styles are fine." I stood at the entrance, not daring to go further in. "Both bras and panties." I nodded. "Get both. 2 sets should be enough for a week." To ease the awkwardness, I lowered my head and pretended to fiddle with my phone. Just then, I heard a familiar voice. "Yo, isn't this the top student of our class?" I looked up. It was my high school classmate, Wang Shan, and her best friend. "What a coincidence," I said, with a forced greeting. Wang Shan spoke with a sarcastic tone. "It's so interesting to see you here. Don't tell me you have a girlfriend now." I didn't answer. She continued to mock me. "How could someone like you find a girlfriend?" I frowned. "We're all classmates. There's no need for this." While Wang Shan was mocking me, Xia Sidao's voice suddenly came from behind. I turned my head to look. Xia Sidao and Jiang Xiaoxiao were walking this way. Xia Sidao directly linked her arm with mine. "Who did you just say couldn't find a girlfriend?" Jiang Xiaoxiao had been helping Xia Sidao pick clothes. When she turned around, I was gone. "Sister-in-law, where did my brother go?" "I don't know. He was just here a moment ago." Xia Sidao also looked confused. "Could it be that he got tired of shopping with us and secretly slipped away?" Jiang Xiaoxiao guessed. "No way. We have to drag him back." With that, she pulled Xia Sidao out of the store. I was actually in the lingerie store right next door. As soon as they came out, they saw me, along with Wang Shan and her friends standing opposite me. Jiang Xiaoxiao frowned. "Wang Shan, why is she here?" Xia Sidao asked. "You know her?" "I do. She pursued my brother in high school. After he rejected her public confession, she's been targeting him ever since. A classic case of love turning to hate." Xia Sidao saw the sign of the lingerie store. She suddenly understood why I was there, her face blushing slightly. As they got closer, Wang Shan's mocking words became clear. "How could someone like you find a girlfriend? Is this woman crazy?" When Jiang Xiaoxiao heard Wang Shan insulting me, her expression immediately darkened. She could scold me herself, but she would never allow another girl to do so. Before Jiang Xiaoxiao could explode, Xia Sidao acted first. She walked straight to my side and linked her arm with mine. She shot a cold glare at Wang Shan. "Who did you just say couldn't find a girlfriend?" Ever since she got with me, Xia Sidao had always been as gentle as water. She would do whatever I said, but at this moment, she was unusually fierce. Xia Sidao and I exchanged a look of tacit understanding. "You're Wang Shan, right?" Xia Sidao's aura was overwhelming. "I heard that after my boyfriend rejected you in high school, you've held a grudge ever since." Although her family background was ordinary, Xia Sidao was still a young, wealthy lady with millions in assets. In terms of aura, she completely crushed her opponent. The two girls had below-average looks. With Jiang Xiaoxiao backing her up from the side, the other party was even more overwhelmed. Jiang Xiaoxiao was not as polite as Xia Sidao. "Wang Shan, it's been so many years, and you still haven't let it go. Who can you blame for being ugly? Although my brother isn't much, it's still a bit better than you, right?" I complained silently in my heart. "Me? Ugly? I have a look score of 80. I am almost at the 1 in 10,000 standard. Okay." Although standing next to Xia Sidao and Jiang Xiaoxiao, I looked a bit out of place. I was still much better than Wang Shan and her friend. Wang Shan was rendered speechless. She wanted to retort but couldn't find any point to argue. In terms of looks and figure, Xia Sidao completely outshone her. In the end, all she could do was say to me sarcastically, Hey, you're so capable now. You've learned how to hide behind a woman." Hearing Wang Shan's words, I immediately found it incredibly boring. "What is this all about?" Xia Sidao turned to look at me. A smile played on her lips. I quickly explained, "I really never did anything to her. I swear. Who knows where this woman gets so much resentment from?" Xia Sidao laughed and said, "I know. If you even laid eyes on someone of her caliber, I'd really have to wonder if I am not good enough." This comment made Wang Shan's face turn green with anger. She forced herself to say, "A perverted man shopping in a woman's lingerie store. I am glad I didn't end up with someone like this." Xia Sidao suddenly laughed. Before you say that, why don't you find a boyfriend who's willing to buy you lingerie first? Zhang Xiaoxiao immediately chimed in. Why does it smell so sour in here? Is someone saying the grapes are sour because they can't have them? The two of them cooperated perfectly. It left Wang Shan completely speechless. Her friend couldn't stand it anymore and pulled her away. After Wang Shan left, Xia Xidao, who had just been so aggressive, suddenly blushed. Just then, the sales assistant came over. Sir, here are your items. Will you be paying with cash or card? Card. I took out my bank card. Zhang Xiao suddenly exclaimed, Brother, you're too much. You've never bought this for me, and yet you're buying it for sister-in-law. Plus, you didn't even ask for her size. Confess, now. I stole a glance at Xia Xidao. From this angle, I could see perfectly. Tisk. Tisk. I should really try it out if I get the chance. Jiang Xiao pulled Xia Xidao away. Oh, you're good. You really do have bad intentions. In front of so many people, I had to push aside my dark thoughts. Some things are better said when I am alone with Xia Xidao. Xia Xidao took the bag. Zhang Xiao suddenly pouted. She insisted that I buy her 2 sets of lingerie as well. In the end, I paid over 3,000. Although I felt the pinch, seeing 2 great beauties browsing in the store, and the envious gazes of the men around me, this money was well spent. After shopping for 2 hours, I was carrying 7 or 8 bags. They were basically all for Xia Xidao, of course. I also bought 2 things for Jiang Xiao. After all, she had been with us for so long. She deserved a little something. You two keep shopping. I'm going to put these things away. Carrying all these bags was really inconvenient. I decided to put the stuff in the car first. Just as I put the bags in the trunk, my phone suddenly rang. It was my close high school friend, Wei Tianyu, whom I hadn't contacted in a long time. Hello, old Wei. As I answered, the corner of my mouth unconsciously lifted. This brother, who used to be inseparable from me, ever since we got into different universities, we rarely contacted each other. Old Jiang, are you in Shangcheng? Wei Tianyu's hearty voice came from the other end of the line. I answered honestly, yeah, I just got here last night. After all, it'd be strange not to come home for such a long holiday. Wei Tianyu continued. No wonder, Wang Shan said in the class group chat, that you found an ugly girlfriend. Is it true or not? I was stunned for a moment. Wang Shan said that woman has some nerve. After being humiliated by Xia Xidao, she immediately went and made things up. Wei Tianyu said helplessly, it's all over the class group chat, but I am not calling you about this. Our high school classmates are planning a reunion. Are you coming? To be honest, my 3 years of high school were quite beautiful. Everyone was young and full of life. Although we rarely keep in touch now, I am sure we'd have things to talk about if we gathered. I was a little tempted. But next, I had to go shopping with Xia Xidao. I also had to look at a storefront for my parents. There was a lot to do. I really don't have the time. I've been too busy lately. I'll treat you to a meal some other day. Wei Tianyu wouldn't let it go. Busy with what? Are you with your girlfriend, you little brat? You got a girlfriend and didn't tell me. I was even planning to introduce you to a girl from the dance department. You know how flexible they are. Conversations between guys always tend to go off track, especially for close brothers like us. Our school is full of beautiful girls. The dance department, the performance department, they're all so fresh and young. It's an art school. After all, they all make a living with their faces. But Wei Tianyu suddenly lowered his voice. But no matter how beautiful, are they as beautiful as your family member? If you're free, come find me. I laughed and hung up. I pressed the elevator button, a smile on my lips. I knew it. This guy. Wei Tianyu's wicked laugh came from the other end. The reunion is set for 2 days from now. I'll call you then. Come hang out if you're free. If not, that's fine. But before the holiday ends, I have to meet my sister-in-law. You get it. I immediately retorted. What do you mean? Younger sister-in-law? Call her older sister-in-law. It's normal for brothers to call each other older brother. All right, the elevator's here. I am hanging up. Without waiting for his reply, I hung up. I opened the high school class group chat. I found that they were still in a heated discussion. Guess who I saw at the mall today? Everyone. I saw Jiang Chen at a lingerie store. What? What was Jiang Chen doing at a lingerie store? What else? Buying lingerie, of course. Does he have some special hobby? His girlfriend is super ugly. Her figure is really unbearable to look at. Wang Shan fanned the flames in the group. Is that for real? Is my taste that bad? The group immediately exploded. Since Wang Shan said so, it's probably not fake. Right? The gossips chimed in. I scrolled through the chat history. I never thought I'd become the main character of the group's gossip. I scrolled down. I saw Wei Tianyu's message to Wang Shan. Wang Shan, who doesn't know about your petty little schemes? What does me having a girlfriend have to do with you? Ugly people love to cause trouble. Wang Shan immediately retorted. There was a gap in Wei Tianyu's chat history in the middle. He was probably calling me just then. I quickly scanned the chat history. I immediately understood the situation. Wang Shan was clearly provoked. That's why she ran to the high school class group to slander me. The others were just gossiping. Looking at the constantly refreshing messages, I directly sent a series of red packets to the group. There were 46 people in the class. I sent 44 red packets of 200 yuan each, a total of 8,800 yuan. Why were there two missing? One was for me, and the other, of course, was for Wang Shan. Each red packet had the note celebratory candy. The group chat immediately exploded. The screen was filled with notifications of red packets being claimed. In less than half a minute, all 44 red packets were gone. Holy crap. 200. Thanks. Big shot. The group was buzzing. Just then, Wang Linger suddenly sent a message. Why didn't I get a red packet? Only then did everyone realize. The 44 red packets were exactly one person short. Everyone looked towards Wang Shan. I directly at Wang Shan. Sorry, I didn't prepare a red packet for you. Please return the red packet you claimed to Wang Linger. The group went silent instantly. Everyone understood. You spread rumors about me in the group, and you still want to take my red packet? The worst part was that Wang Shan had actually claimed that red packet. She's got some thick skin. Brother, sister-in-law wants to buy a pair of diamond rings. Jiang Zhao Zhao spoke first, her eyes filled with admiration. This pair of rings costs at least 20,000 yuan. Xia Sidao is buying it just like that. We're both beauties. Why is the gap so big? Thinking about how she had to be a servant for a week just to buy a necklace, Jiang Xiaoxiao's heart soured with envy. Brother Jiang, do you think this ring is beautiful? Xia Sidao held out her slender finger. The diamond ring sparkled under the light. It's indeed very beautiful. Brother, I also. Just as Jiang Xiaoxiao was about to speak, I cut her off. You don't even have a boyfriend. What are you going to do with a couple's ring? My local slang rendered her speechless. Jiang Xiaoxiao lowered her head in grievance. This diamond ring was truly beautiful, but it depends on whose hand it's on. Actually, I am not interested in diamonds. I know it's all a marketing gimmick by businesses, but I can't help it that girls like them. Whether it was Xia Sidao or Jiang Xiaoxiao, they both stared at this ring without blinking. Ding! A random mission has been activated. Purchase a pair of diamond rings with a rarity score above 80. Reward: a pair of diamonds with a rarity score of 100. Although I don't understand diamond rankings, I have the data eye. Trading an 80-point item for a 100-point one. This deal is too good. Do you have the men's style? Let me see it, I said to the salesperson. Sir, please take a look. The employee took out a box. Inside was the men's ring. The diamond was slightly bigger. I picked up the ring. The system's notification sound rang out. Rarity: 58. How much is this pair? I asked. Sir, this is a platinum band with a diamond. The pair is 18,500. The employee explained. The price varies for rings with diamonds. This price was about what I expected. But the problem was, the two rings together cost nearly 20,000, yet the system score was only 58. It didn't even meet the standard. This is too ridiculous. Do you have anything better? I frowned and put the ring back in the box. The salesperson was stunned for a moment. Sir, what did you just say? I said, bring out the best pair of couples rings in your store. Diamond rings are usually sold in pairs. Ordinary people usually only buy them when they get married. Hearing me say this, the employee quickly nodded and went to get the good stuff. To be able to go shopping for diamond rings with beauties, like Xia Sidao and Jiang Xiaoxiao, he must be a rich second-generation kid. Brother Jiang, I think this pair of rings is quite good. Xia Sidao was a bit puzzled. It's indeed not bad, but it doesn't meet my standards. After all, this is the first time I am buying a pair of diamond rings. I can't be careless. Jiang Xiaoxiao pouted. Brother, you're delusional. She knew I made money, but she still thought my standards were too high. Only the newly rich buy the most expensive things. But Xia Sidao was very happy. She felt that I was being so serious because I cared about her. A girl's thoughts are sometimes so strange. A few minutes later, the salesperson returned with 2 boxes. Sir, these are the best diamond rings in our store. They are all works by a French designer. Each pair is over 2 carats, and each pair costs around 400,000. 400,000 for a pair was nothing to me and Xia Sidao. We could afford it easily. But Jiang Xiaoxiao was astonished. This was equivalent to her parents' salary for several years without spending a dime. Jiang Xiaoxiao looked at me in shock. Are you crazy? I ignored her and directly opened the ring box. The system's notification sound immediately rang out. Mission item detected. Rarity: 81. A ring over 400,000 barely met the 80-point standard. The system's requirements were really high. I opened the other box. Rarity: 80. How much are these 2 pairs of rings? I asked the salesperson directly. The salesperson was about to give a long speech, but I quickly interrupted. Just give me the price. The first pair is 465,800. The second is 418,800. I was a little surprised. Such a big difference? The salesperson explained. The purity of the diamonds is different. Actually, both pairs weren't bad. Either could complete the mission. I gave the choice to Xia Sidao. Which pair do you like? Sidao, which style do you like? I pushed the box of couples rings in front of Xia Sidao. Xia Sidao began to compare them seriously. Jiang Xiaoxiao stood beside them, frowning as she watched. She kept giving me meaningful looks. but I pretended not to see them. Sister Sidao, you take your time looking. I am going to get milk tea with my brother. Jiang Xiao suddenly spoke up. Xia Sidao smiled and nodded. Jiang Xiao immediately pulled me outside. Can't you go by yourself? I am busy, I said reluctantly. I can't carry 3 cups by myself. Hurry up and come with me. Jiang Xiao firmly pulled me out. Not far from the store, Jiang Xiao stopped. Aren't we getting milk tea? I asked, puzzled. Brother, are you really stupid or just pretending? Jiang Xiao crossed her arms. She looked at me like I was an idiot. What's wrong with me? I looked confused. Yesterday you said that money was for renting a storefront for mom and dad. Today you're spending over 400,000 on a diamond ring. Are you crazy? Jiang Xiao stomped her foot in anger. Her small face was flushed. Actually, I had much more than 400,000. I was buying the diamond ring for the system's reward. But I couldn't say that. Don't you like these things the most? I smiled and pinched her cheek. Why are you feeling the pinch now? Jiang Xiao said angrily. How is that the same? I do like them, it's true, but I would never spend money recklessly. I can work part-time for a few months to buy a necklace, but I would never buy a diamond ring worth hundreds of thousands. Jiang Xiao was red with anger. I couldn't help but laugh. The problem isn't how much the diamond ring costs. It's that you have to give one of them to Xia Sidao. Right? This pair of diamond rings is over 400,000. Although the diamond on the man's ring is a bit bigger, the woman's ring is still worth over 100,000. In Jiang Xiao's eyes, Xia Sidao and I had only known each other for less than a month. Giving such an expensive gift already was indeed a bit extravagant. Seeing her hesitant expression, I knew exactly what she was thinking. That's right. On the surface, it might seem a bit foolish, but she didn't know that for Xia Sidao and me, our feelings had reached the point of unwavering devotion. Besides, it's not like she's short on money. I know what I am doing. After saying that, I turned to leave. Jiang Xiao wanted to say something, but in the end, she just followed silently. I bought 3 drinks. I chose a fruit tea for myself. Milk tea is too rich. It's not to my taste. The other 2 cups were for them. Carrying the drinks, I returned to the jewelry store. I saw Xia Sidao with a middle-aged woman with an elegant aura, chatting. Sidao, here's your milk tea. I handed her the drink. This is on Tang. Xia Sidao took the milk tea and explained. She's choosing wedding rings for her son and daughter-in-law. She happened to see our diamond rings and started a conversation. Hello, Aunt Tang. I greeted her politely. This aunt looked very kind. She was about my parents' age, so calling her aunt was appropriate. The salesperson approached with 2 exquisite jewelry boxes. She handed one to Xia Sidao and the other to Aunt Tang. Your rings have been packaged, the salesperson said respectfully. Aunt Tang took the box. She smiled and said to Xia Sidao, Sidao, I have something to attend to, so I'll be leaving now. Thank you for letting me have this ring. You're too kind, Auntie. Xia Sidao replied sweetly. After Aunt Tang left, I turned and asked Xia Sidao, have you chosen? I've chosen. She picked up the jewelry box. She naturally linked her arm with mine. I took out my bank card and handed it to the employee, but she seemed awkward. Sir, Miss Xia has already paid. When did she pay? I was a bit surprised. When you and Xiao went to get milk tea, Xia Sidao blinked. You bought the watch last time. This time, it's my turn. The salesperson sneakily glanced at the Patek Philippe on Xia Sidao's wrist and clicked her tongue in amazement. Just casually giving each other gifts worth hundreds of thousands. This truly is the world of the rich. I smiled helplessly. I was originally planning to use this pair of rings to complete the system mission. I didn't expect Xia Sidao to pay for it first. Just then, the system's notification suddenly rang out. Ding! Xia Sidao's affection for the host has been detected. It has reached the level of unwavering devotion. Mission confirmed as completed. Reward: 1 pair of diamonds with a rarity of 100, stored in the system space. This was truly an unexpected joy. Although I couldn't use it for now, I had completed the mission anyway. At this moment, Jiang Xiao was the most uncomfortable. Initially, she felt that me spending over 100,000 on a diamond ring was too wasteful, especially since my feelings for Xia Sidao weren't that deep yet. But she didn't expect Xia Sidao to, without a second word, buy this pair of diamond rings with her own money. Seeing my gaze shift to her, Jiang Xiao suddenly felt her face flush. It turned out her sister-in-law was so rich. She'd buy a diamond ring worth hundreds of thousands just like that, as easily as buying a bottle of water. I am so jealous. Jiang Xiao's heart was filled with envy. Now, all she could think about was how to please me, so that I would help her buy that necklace worth over 10,000. I patted Xia Sidao's head. Don't spend money recklessly like this in the future. She just smiled without saying anything. Let's go. I'll take you 2 back to the hotel to rest first. I have something to do later. Xia Sidao was indeed tired. She had rushed to the airport in the morning and shopped for so long in the afternoon, but she couldn't bear to leave my side from the beginning. Now that I said this, she obediently nodded. Jiang Xiao's mind was filled with that necklace. She was in no mood to continue shopping either. I took them to the 5-star hotel I had booked. It was a duplex suite over 80 square meters, fully furnished, just like a luxury apartment. Ah, brother, You're so good to sister-in-law. Jiang Xiao Xiao exclaimed in surprise as soon as she entered. She had lived in a small house all her life and in a dorm at university. It was her first time seeing such a luxurious room. That's a given. I put the shopping bags on the sofa. You two rest first. I'll arrange dinner. I'll come pick you up when it's time. After saying that, I left. Although buying the storefront wasn't urgent, I still wanted to get it done soon. He didn't know any wealthy people in Shangcheng, so for this matter of buying property, I'd probably still have to go to a real estate agency. I should go register with them early. They might be able to help me arrange things sooner. Hearing that I had important business to attend to, Xia Xidao nodded obediently. Then she stretched long. Just in time. I am a little tired too. I am going to take a nap. Xia Xidao's stretch was perfect. It fully displayed her figure. It made even Jiang Xiao Xiao next to her stare blankly. She glanced at me, who was also a bit dazed. Then she silently went into her room. Xia Xidao seemed to notice my unusual reaction, but she didn't put her arms down. Instead, after Jiang Xiao Xiao went into her room, she hugged me. Then she stood on her tiptoes. A dozen seconds later, the two of us separated. I am very satisfied today. This is your reward. A smile played on Xia Xidao's lips. Is that all for the reward? I smacked my lips. I seemed to still be savoring the warm fragrance from just now. After dinner tonight, I'll take Xiao Xiao home. I'll come find you, okay? As a hot-blooded young man, and being teased a little by Xia Xidao, I couldn't help but start having some bad ideas. But Xia Xidao didn't respond to me. She took a set of clothes and went into the bathroom. Remember to pick us up after you're done this afternoon. I am going to take a shower first. I wanted to say more, but Xia Xidao had already entered the bathroom. Slam. The bathroom door was closed. All right then. I had to reluctantly give up. As I left, I closed the door behind me. Back in the living room, I opened a real estate app. I found a nearby nationally known real estate company. I made an appointment with their salesperson. Then, I went over immediately. As soon as I entered the company, a woman in her 30 seconds came to greet me. I asked, I have an appointment with someone named Hui Zi. Is she here? I just didn't expect that after I said this. The woman shook her head. Sir, you don't understand. For something like buying a house, you definitely need to find someone experienced to serve you. Hui Zi is just a recent graduate. She hasn't closed a single deal. Her experience in this area is really too poor. The woman's words stunned me a bit. No way. She was clearly trying to steal a client, but I didn't refuse. I followed the woman to the reception room. After I sat down, she poured me a glass of water. Sir, please wait a moment. I'll go get some documents. I nodded. I didn't say anything. But after the woman went out, my phone rang. I took it out and saw it was a call from Hui Zi. After I answered, Hui Zi's voice came from the other end. Mr. Jiang? May I ask where you are now? If you can't find our store, I can come out to meet you. Hui Zi's voice was as calm and steady as ever. I am in the reception room of your Anjia agency. I didn't hide it either. What? The person just now was you? Hearing my words, the usually calm Hui Zi was no longer calm. A few seconds after I spoke, the door to the reception room opened. A girl in office attire, who looked to be in her early 20s, walked in. The noteworthy thing was, this girl was very beautiful. If I were to rate her, Hui Zi's score would definitely be above 90. The girl who entered looked at me sitting there and said a bit hastily, Mr. Jiang, it's me. You're Miss Hui Zi, right? I replied, upon receiving my response. Hui Zi seemed a little excited. I just said I would come to the door to meet you. I didn't expect you to already be inside. Hui Zi seemed to be explaining why she didn't wait for me at the door, but that wasn't important to me. All I wanted was to buy a property that satisfied me. Everything else was superficial. Hui Zi wanted to say something else. The door to the reception room was pushed open again. The young woman from before walked in, holding a folder. After seeing Hui Zi, she couldn't help but frown. Hui Zi, what are you doing in the reception room? Get out. I need to receive a client. The young woman glared at Hui Zi. Her direct words stunned Hui Zi. Your client? Hui Zi mumbled a sentence, but then immediately reacted. I was clearly the one who contacted Mr. Zhang. Luna, you can't just steal a client from your own colleague. Hui Zi seemed agitated by this woman and said continuously, you used this same trick to steal a client from me last time. Now, you're doing it again. Don't go too far. Hearing Hui Zi's words, Luna crossed her arms and started to sneer. A newbie. A 5 million deal. Can you even handle it? If something really goes wrong, can you take responsibility for it? After speaking, Luna waved her hand, signaling for Hui Zi to leave. The argument between the two had attracted the attention of quite a few people. Since everyone saw each other regularly, Luna publicly stealing a deal like this, it was impossible for others not to know. At this time, quite a few people were gathered around the door of the reception room. I just sat there watching the two of them argue, not saying a word. Seeing that Hui Zi was about to be driven away, my voice rang out. I was the one who told Miss Hui Zi not to come meet me, and it's also true that I contacted her first. The two who had been arguing incessantly. After I said this, the matter was settled. Both of them looked at me at the same time, but Hui Zi's eyes were filled with gratitude, while Luna showed some dissatisfaction. A man who looked to be in his 40s or 50s walked in, since Huizi contacted Mr. Jiang first. Then Lune, you should back down voluntarily. The man who entered was wearing a store manager name tag. His words still held some weight. Luna heard the store manager's words. She could only answer with a yes, then gave me a deep look. Then she turned and left the reception room. It's just that after leaving the reception room, I could hear Luna's sarcastic voice. A kid in his teens, making such a big deal out of renting a place. Seeing this, the store manager also said a word of apology to me. Then he told the others outside to disperse. The once noisy reception room suddenly became quiet, leaving the two people in the reception room, a little unsure of what to say. Huizi looked at me gratefully and spoke up. Thank you, Mr. Jiang, for speaking up for me just now. I shook my head. I said with a slightly helpless tone. It's nothing. That's the truth. I really did contact Huizi first. Workability is one thing. If Huizi's workability can't satisfy me, it won't be too late to switch to someone else then. Let me pour you some water. It was clear that Huizi's experience in this area was truly lacking. If it were someone else, they would have started asking about my needs long ago, and then help recommend types of properties. But Huizi didn't seem to know how to start approaching this matter. I could only shake my head and say, no need. Miss Huizi, my time is very limited. If possible, I hope you can record my property requirements and then quickly help me find the property I need. Since Huizi was inexperienced, I could only take the initiative. Hearing my words, Huizi quickly said, Mr. Jiang, please wait a moment. I'll go get a pen and a notebook. I grunted in acknowledgement. After Huizi went out for about 10 seconds, she ran back quickly, as if she was afraid that during the time she was gone, someone would steal the deal again. Okay, Mr. Jiang, you can speak now. Huizi sat down next to me. She opened her notebook. I nodded, then slowly began to speak. I want to buy a storefront. The location shouldn't be too remote, around 200 to 300 square meters, with a budget of about 10 million. I stated my requirements, but Huizi, who was taking notes, suddenly stopped and turned to look at me. Mr. Jiang, did you just say 10 million? Huizi interrupted me. I couldn't help but look over. Is there a problem? After Huizi was stunned for a moment, she revealed a joyful expression. No problem. No problem. Mr. Jiang, please continue. I'll keep taking notes. I will definitely find a satisfactory property for you. I paused for a moment, then continued. Oh, right. It would be best if the other party can be decisive. We need to confirm within these few days. After confirming, I can pay the full amount in one go. Hearing this, Huizi looked at me in surprise, then continued writing on the paper. Okay, Mr. Jiang. May I ask if you have any time requirements? I nodded and continued. If possible, I hope that during this National Day holiday, we can complete all the procedures during the holiday, because my schedule might be a bit busy after this. Within a week? Huizi mumbled to herself, then nodded. Mr. Jiang, rest assured, I will definitely, within a week, find a suitable property for you. After signing the consignment agreement, Huizi personally saw me out. Mr. Jiang, do you need me to drive you? Huizi asked. You have a car? I turned to look at Huizi. If I remember correctly, Huizi probably just started working here. Plus, judging by her age, she probably just graduated from university. Being asked a question like that by me, Huizi's face showed some embarrassment as she quickly said, It's a company car, but I have a driver's license. You can rest assured. Hearing Huizi's answer, I couldn't help but smile. No need. Miss Huizi, you should quickly help me find the property I need. Huizi nodded and said, Okay, then take care, Mr. Jiang. After I left, Huizi turned and went back to the company. But after she went inside, she found that there were quite a few colleagues looking at her. After Huizi entered, the store manager called out, Huizi, could you come in for a moment? Looking at the strange gazes of the colleagues around her, Huizi could only brace herself and walk in. But after entering, she discovered that Luna, the one who had tried to snatch her deal earlier, was also there. Huizi asked, Store manager, is something wrong? The store manager looked at Huizi, thought for a moment, and said, Huizi, I've had Luna give you 2 rental deals. After all, the headquarters assigns tasks every year. Deals worth tens of millions like this one are also taken very seriously by headquarters. I have to ensure that the deal won't be snatched by another company. Assigning someone with rich experience to take over is something I have to do. Huizi turned to look at Luna. What are you looking at me for? In terms of seniority and experience, I am indeed much more experienced than you. Seeing Huizi look over, Luna couldn't help but shoot her a glance. I was already tricked by you people last time. Do you think you'll be tricked again this time? At this point, everything had basically been laid bare. Huizi's face also showed anger, but because of the pressure, she didn't explode. Besides, store manager, didn't you just say that you were giving this deal to me? Huizi looked towards the store manager again. I didn't know just now. The store manager was about to say something when he was interrupted by Huizi. I didn't expect this deal to be so valuable, Huizi sneered. Either way, I won't agree. Being shut down by Huizi, the store manager also frowned slightly. He glanced at Lu Na and said, Lu Na, you go out first. I need to have a few words with Hui Zi. Seemingly knowing what the store manager was about to do, Lu Na nodded. She gave Hui Zi a meaningful look, then turned and walked out of the store manager's office. She even closed the door on her way out. At this time, only two people were left in the office, the store manager and Hui Zi. Hui Zi, have a seat first. Don't be angry. After Lu Na left, the store manager's expression softened considerably, but Hui Zi had no intention of giving him any face. Hey, yeah. Just sit down. I'll talk this over with you slowly. Seeing that Hui Zi didn't move, the store manager could only continue to persuade her. Only then did Hui Zi sit down on the sofa. The store manager didn't say anything either, but proactively went to pour Hui Zi a glass of water. You know how many deals Lu Na closes in a month, right? Hui Zi frowned slightly. Although she had only been here for a short time, she didn't know much about the past situation at the Anjie store. She didn't understand much, but that didn't stop her from seeing in the past few days that Lu Na closed quite a few deals. Hui Zi didn't drink the water. She just replied coolly, if the store manager wants to say that Lu Na has rich experience, then you don't need to say any more. In any case, I won't give the deal to her. She originally thought that after saying this, the store manager would immediately turn hostile, but unexpectedly, the other party didn't turn hostile. Instead, the smile on his face grew wider. I never said I was going to give this deal to Lu Na. After all, if this deal can be completed, the commission would be tens of thousands. No one would be that stupid. The store manager squinted his eyes, a lewd smile appearing on his face. Hearing the store manager's words, Hui Zi also breathed a small sigh of relief. Since he had said that, he probably wouldn't make things difficult for her anymore, right? But you also know that if a deal like this is lost, reporting it to headquarters will result in a reprimand. You understand this, right? The store manager sat down next to Hui Zi. Of course, although your experience isn't enough, but if I am here to help you keep an eye on things, I can guarantee that no problems will arise. Besides, if any problems do come up, I can take the fall for you. As he said these words, the store manager's eyes were fixed on Hui Zi's fair white thighs. Really? Then thank you, store manager. Hui Zi didn't notice anything unusual. Hearing this, she quickly spoke up. No need to thank me. But I feel that if you go and take on this deal just like this, something is still lacking. How about this? Tonight, you come to my place. I'll give you some private tutoring. I see. Your experience seems a bit insufficient, the store manager said, while placing his hand on Hui Zi's thigh. Hui Zi was a newcomer to the industry. That wasn't wrong, but she wasn't an idiot. If he had already said this much, and she still didn't know what the store manager wanted to do, then she would truly be an idiot. Hui Zi suddenly stood up, her knee hitting the coffee table, causing Hui Zi to frown tightly. Store manager, please have some respect. My experience is indeed lacking, but not to the point where I have to sell my body. After speaking, Hui Zi intended to leave, but the store manager's voice rang out again. If I remember correctly, your family's financial situation isn't very good. Is it? Just one sentence from the store manager made Hui Zi freeze on the spot. Of course, you can also try walking out that door, but I can't guarantee that this person here, won't abuse my power. Perhaps after you walk out that door, you will no longer be an employee of our Anjia tomorrow. It's not impossible. By then, won't the deal just fall back into my hands? You should think it over carefully. After all, this is tens of thousands. Hearing this, Hui Zi abruptly turned her head to look at the store manager, only to see the store manager sitting properly on the sofa, looking completely at ease, as if he was very confident about this matter. But he didn't expect that. His usually effective trick would fail on Hui Zi. Hui Zi directly picked up the paper cup on the table and threw it at the store manager. The water in the cup wasn't hot. It could only be considered warm water. But in this situation, being splashed with water by a subordinate still made the store manager lose all face. You should go find Lu Na for guidance instead. Hui Zi, haven't fallen that low. After Hui Zi said that, she turned and left the office. The office door was slammed shut by Hui Zi. Everyone sitting outside looked towards Hui Zi. But Hui Zi didn't say a word. She returned to her desk and started packing her things. Everyone was stunned. They had just heard that Hui Zi was about to sign a huge deal worth tens of millions. How come after one trip to the office, she started slamming doors? Seeing Hui Zi like this, Lu Na walked into the store manager's office in her high heels. It's just that after she went inside, she saw the store manager's pathetic state. She was also a bit surprised. Lu Na quickly pulled out 2 tissues to help the store manager wipe his clothes. What happened? How did you get all wet? Lu Na said with a concerned look. Don't mention it. The store manager got even angrier when he heard that. He shouted out the door. Hui Zi, from now on, you are no longer an employee of Anjia. Pack your things and get out. The store manager's voice was very loud. The entire office area could hear it. On the other hand, when Lu Na heard this statement from the store manager, she had already guessed the whole story. This Hui Zi was still too young, with too little experience after all. If it were her, Lu Na, she would have, no matter what, kept this deal in her own hands. In that case, store manager, now that Huizi has been fired, the deal from just now, Luna asked tentatively. The store manager glanced at Luna and then spoke. Come to my place tonight. You have to use the back door. Hearing this from the store manager, Luna wasn't angry, but rather happy. If she could get this deal by using the back door, it was more than worth it. Oh, right. I might have to go on a business trip to Jiangcheng in a while. You'll come with me then. There are a few things I need your help with. After the store manager finished speaking, he looked Luna up and down again. Okay. Then I'll tell my husband in advance and tell him not to bother me then. Luna also quickly agreed. That's more like it. A deal with a commission of tens of thousands. How could it be settled with just one trip through the back door? You have to go through both the top and bottom doors a few times at least. Although the other party was a bit greedy, as long as she could get the deal, it was fine. Luna wasn't as stupid as Huizi, turning away money that was delivered right to her door. But you have to be careful with that little girl Huizi. She won't give up so easily. The store manager reminded her again. Don't worry. Right now, Huizi is just an unemployed person. What does she have to compete with me? A smile appeared on Luna's face. Regarding these matters, I was completely unaware. Even if I knew, I wouldn't have felt anything. This is the real work environment. Although it's a bit dark, it's an incredibly realistic dog-eat-dog world, especially when faced with a deal that could earn tens of thousands. It would be strange if no one came to fight for it, but there was nothing to do even if I went back now. Only 2 hours had passed since I left. Xia Siyao and Zhang Xiao had probably just fallen asleep not long ago, so I sat for a while at a milk tea shop next to the hotel and made dinner reservations at the same time. Just as I was about to get up and go back to the hotel room, my phone rang again. I took out my phone to look and found it was an unknown number. Moreover, the phone automatically identified the caller as a real estate agent. I thought it was Huizi calling, but if it were Huizi calling, there should have been a contact name. After a moment of thought, I still answered. Who is it? I asked. Hello, Mr. Jiang. I am Luna from Anjia. You probably still have some impression of me. Luna. Hearing the other person's words, an image appeared in my mind of the woman who had fought with Huizi for the deal. No. Wait, it should be said. A married woman. If you look at her alone, Luna also had some looks. It's just that, when she was with Huizi, I automatically classified her as a middle-aged woman. But why was Luna calling me? I know. Is something wrong? I asked again. It's like this. Mr. Jiang, Huizi has already resigned from our company, so I will be taking over her deal. I happen to have on hand right now a few properties that match your requirements. If you have time this afternoon, you can go take a look with me. Luna's words made me frown slightly. Huizi resigned? The deal is now being handled by Luna, although whether Huizi was still working or not had nothing to do with me. But this was too sudden. My intuition told me something was up, but I didn't say anything. What made me frown was the time Luna arranged. Sorry, I have to eat with my girlfriend in the afternoon, so I don't have time. These two things conflicted. This was the real reason I frowned. Then let's do it in the evening. If you're not busy in the evening, I can also treat you to a few drinks. Hearing that I had something to do in the afternoon, Luna immediately changed the time. Well, see tonight. We'll talk if there's nothing else going on. If it's in the evening, the time won't conflict. But this was probably the best option. But I wasn't sure if in the evening, Xia Siyao would have other plans. If there were other plans, I would definitely have to accompany Jia Siyao first. Okay. Mr. Jiang, then I'll contact you tonight. Getting this answer was satisfying enough for Luna. After all, she was stealing a deal from someone else. To completely convince me, when we meet, she would still have many opportunities, especially when dealing with a young person like me. Just by using a few tricks, she could make me completely infatuated. In terms of looks and figure, she might not be a match for Huizi. But how can a green apple be as delicious as a ripe peach? Even the store manager was conquered by her, let alone me. After I hung up, Luna pushed away the store manager's hand that was on her thigh. Store manager, you heard him. I probably have to go see Mr. Jiang tonight. Luna shook her phone. The store manager nodded upon hearing this. I know. But don't forget what you promised me before. For this commission, I am taking a 30% cut. Although the store manager's hand had just been pushed away by Luna, he placed it back on her again at this moment. Hearing the store manager's words, Luna didn't refuse. Don't worry. We've been cooperating for so many years. The money I owe you, have I ever been short a single cent? Luna said, while glancing at the store manager. No wonder Luna could get so many deals. It turns out the store manager was behind her, frantically, providing resources to Luna. Since you have plans tonight, then now, come home with me. On another note, I also knocked on the door of the hotel suite. After ringing the bell twice, the door was opened. Xia Xia was wearing the hotel's disposable slippers. Her hair was a bit messy, and her eyes weren't even fully open. Seeing me at the door, she immediately hugged my waist. Jiang Chen, I am so sleepy. Ah. I stroked Xia's Ayao's head and said, let's eat first. We'll go back to sleep after we eat. Xia Xiyao hummed in agreement, then she raised her head slightly. I understood her hint and lowered my head a little. After a kiss, the three of us went to a high-end steakhouse, as expected of a high-end restaurant. Just this private room alone was an eye-opener for me. Even Shai, Sai, Yao, and Jiang Xiao showed looks of surprise. When we finished eating and were paying the bill, Jiang Xiao saw that the meal cost tens of thousands of yuan. Thinking about the steak she hadn't finished earlier, she looked at me and said, "Brother, do you think the steak will still be good if we take it home and reheat it?" Jiang Xiao looked at me with a pouty face. I don't know why. Seeing this expression on Jiang Xiao, I really wanted to laugh. At this moment, the waitress beside her spoke up. "Miss Jiang, we don't recommend reheating steak, especially in a home microwave. It will ruin the original flavor of the dish." Hearing this, Jiang Xiao's face completely fell. She could only look at me with pleading eyes. Looking at the steak on Jiang Xiao's plate, I suddenly had a new idea. I turned to look at the waitress. "Do you have a small pot here? The kind you can cook noodles in yourself?" The waitress didn't quite understand why I was asking that, but she still nodded and said, "Yes, we do." "Mr. Jiang, would you like to eat noodles?" I nodded. "Please bring me one. Also, bring me some green vegetables and a pack of instant noodles." The waitress responded with an okay and turned to leave. When she returned a few minutes later, she had prepared everything. Then I directly cooked the instant noodles right there on the spot. Jiang Xiao stared at me, stunned. "Brother, what are you doing?" I held up the empty instant noodle wrapper for them to see. "Cooking noodles. What else?" "Braised beef noodles. Have you guys never had it before?" Everyone was shocked. Braised beef noodles. Well, okay, it really was braised beef noodles, because now the noodles in the pot and the picture on the package were exactly the same. The picture and the dish matched perfectly. At the same time, the system's notification sound also rang out. "Congratulations to the host for comprehending the truth of a perfect life. Completed hidden main mission. Unleash yourself. Reward: double money blessing. Reward: 10 million in cash. Reward: one top-of-the-line Ferrari convertible. Reward: one villa in Shangcheng. Reward: 10 ultimate food rebate cards. Reward: 10 ultimate spending rebate cards." A series of rewards from the system. I didn't know how to express the joyful surprise in my heart. I couldn't help but smile. "No way, brother. Why are you smiling so slyly?" My consciousness was still immersed in the system space. When Jiang Xiao's voice sounded in my ear, I could only withdraw my consciousness. And then I heard her continue. "Brother, I am hungry again. What should I do?" Jiang Xiao was very sure that she was full before, but when she saw this bowl of braised beef noodles of mine, she couldn't help but swallow her saliva. You can't blame her for not having a strong will. The instant noodles were truly too tempting. Xie Xiao also smiled and nodded. "Wait a minute, Jiang Chen. Let me take a picture. I have to record this extravagant moment of yours." As Xie Xiao spoke, she really took out her phone and took 2 pictures. Then she immediately posted it on her moments. "This is what you call braised beef noodles." After Xie Xiao finished taking pictures, I had already started eating. I have to say, this instant noodle meal was really fragrant. After all, it was a steak worth nearly 10,000 yuan. Even the 1 yuan pack of instant noodles became much more delicious. I used facts to prove one thing. It's not that instant noodles aren't delicious. It's just that there's not enough meat. Allow me to manually tag a certain noodle brand here. Jiang Xiao kept watching from the side, watching me eat a bite of noodles, a piece of meat, occasionally taking a bite of egg. What was even more outrageous was that I even blew on the soup, slurped it, and drank a satisfying mouthful. This made it even more unbearable for Jiang Xiao. "Brother, leave 2 pieces for me." After speaking, Jiang Xiao reached out to snatch it. I quickly dodged. "Weren't you not eating anymore?" At this moment, my phone rang, so I handed the bowl in my hand to Jiang Xiao. "Don't eat it all. I'll take this call first." Jiang Xiao agreed very quickly. Then she picked up a few pieces of meat and stuffed them into her mouth with a satisfied expression. Xie Xiao watched me and Jiang Xiao fighting over it and felt a little envious without realizing it. This is probably the benefit of having siblings at home. It could make Jiang Xiao, who was already full, fight to eat a little more at this moment. I didn't notice the envious look on Xie Xiao's face at all. I took out my phone to have a look and discovered it was a call from Lai Xiaodong. After I answered, Lai Xiaodong's exaggerated voice immediately came from the other end. "Brother Jiang, you're so extravagant that you're using a 5 Wagyu beef to cook instant noodles. Well, all right." It seems Li Xiaodong has already seen Xie Xiao's moments post to be able to recognize a 5 beef steak from just a photo. Li Xiaodong's eye for things is quite sharp. I explained, "No, my sister ordered 2 pieces. She couldn't finish 1 piece, so I used it to make instant noodles." Li Xiaodong was a bit speechless. "I give up. I really give up on you. What does a grade 5 beef steak taste like in instant noodles?" I nodded. "Not bad at all. I suggest you try it." "Brother Dong, you deliberately called me. Surely it wasn't just to ask about the steak." Li Xiaodong hurriedly said. "Of course not. I called to report on the work progress to you. I've almost finished recruiting the people. The company's business license is also being processed, but the license part will be a bit slow. Even with connections, it will still take a week. I have to say, Li Xiaodong's work efficiency is still very high. A process that would take others at least 2 months to complete only takes a week in Li Xiaodong's hands. This is a sign of capability. Although Li Xiaodong has it so easy, because he has Li Tianming backing him, it cannot be denied that, when it comes to handling these things, Li Xiaodong is indeed better than me. I have to admit this point. Thanks a lot, Brother Dong, I said. Don't just say thank you. Do something practical. For example, a grade 5 Wagyu beef steak. Listening to me, Li Xiaodong on the other end of the line was frantically hinting. No, it was a direct hint. I discovered something. Li Xiaodong also seems to be extremely particular about food. No problem. You find a place. Just don't try to gnaw on the whole cow when the time comes, I replied with a laugh. I happen to have an ultimate gourmet card on hand. It would be great if I could spend it all. Besides, remember to call all the future key employees of the company then. The new company's first meal is on me. After receiving my answer, Li Xiaodong was quite satisfied, but after a moment's hesitation, he still said, you don't need to treat the company's staff to grade 5 Wagyu beef. We haven't even earned a single penny yet. Don't eat the company into bankruptcy. I could tell Li Xiaodong was still very concerned about my money. Well, talk about this then. Let's discuss it again after we get back. After finishing the phone call, I looked at Jiang Xiao again. This girl had already eaten everything clean. It was already 9 p.m. when we left the restaurant. When we got downstairs, I realized something. All three of us drank red wine. We couldn't drive. Xia Yao suggested, Brother Jiang, let's pick up the car tomorrow. We can just take a taxi home. Actually, I had the same idea. At most, it would just be a little inconvenient tomorrow. I looked at Jiang Xiao. Xiao, we've eaten. We've drunk. I'll call a taxi for you to go home. Who knew that, after hearing me say that, Jiang Xiao immediately hugged Xia Xiao's arm. Take me with you. You're not coming home with me? Jiang Xiao retorted. Ahem. Well, I still have something to do. You go home first. I didn't know how to say it. I had some thoughts, but these thoughts couldn't be spoken aloud. But Jiang Xiao and Xia Xiao heard what I said. They both knew what I was planning. Xia Xiao's face unconsciously blushed. Although she hadn't known me for long, deep down in Xia Xiao's heart, she didn't resist the idea of that happening with me at all. The only thing she might have a slight resistance to was that it would happen in a hotel. Xia Xiao said nothing, but Jiang Xiao spoke up. If you have something to do, then go do it. Don't worry. He'll take good care of my sister-in-law. After speaking, Jiang Xiao waved her hand and called a taxi that was just passing by, pulling Xia Xiao towards the taxi. I hurriedly stopped Jiang Xiao. Jiang Xiao, isn't a tens of thousands yuan steak enough to make you behave? Do you still want your necklace? I glared threateningly. If it were before, Jiang Xiao would always back down whenever I glared at her. But this time, not only did she not, she even took a step forward. Who told you to bully me this afternoon? After speaking, Jiang Xiao wanted to pull Xia Xiao away. I wanted to say something else, but Xia Xiao stopped first. Xiao, he'll have a few words with your brother in a moment. Hearing that, Jiang Xiao let go of Xia Xiao's hand. Xia Xiao walked over, came to my side, then leaned her mouth to my ear, and gently said something that made my eyes light up immediately. You're the one who said it. Don't you dare run away then. I tilted my head to look at Xia Xiao, who was right in front of me, with an excited expression. I said it. Looking at my expression, Xia Xiao also laughed. After hearing those words, and getting so excited, Xia Xiao was still very happy. Then you two go ahead. I'll go home and sleep alone. I didn't hesitate anymore. After kissing Xia Xiao on the forehead, I said, Jiang Xiao, not far away, stared blankly at the two of us. From my initial unwilling expression to my current satisfied expression was the difference in between just a single sentence. Xia Xiao still left with Jiang Xiao, leaving me alone. But not only did I not feel any sense of loss, on the contrary, I was even a little excited. Some things are truly a blessing in disguise. At this moment, the phone rang again. I thought it was Xia Xiao calling. Perhaps she had forgotten something. I took it out to see. It was an unknown number. The caller ID showed real estate agent. I immediately knew who it was. Looking at the time, it wasn't too late, but it wasn't early either. After hesitating for a moment, I still answered the call. Hello, Miss Liu. On the other end, Lu Na said in surprise, Mr. Jiang, you still remember me? Are you free now? I want to take you to see some properties. Her voice sounded very tired. I am a bit far right now. Besides, it's not early anymore. How about tomorrow? I tactfully declined. Lu Na insisted. Please don't. Mr. Jiang, aren't you in a hurry to find a property? I can introduce a few places to you tonight first, so you'll be prepared when you go see them tomorrow. After all, it's a property worth tens of millions of yuan. It's not wrong to do a little more research. I thought that made sense. All right then. I am at the Fu Yu restaurant. After giving the address, I hung up. I found a bar and went in. In recent years, the economy has developed rapidly. Entertainment venues have sprung up everywhere. Bars are especially common. But they are divided into two types. Quiet bars are small and tranquil. Nightclubs are a huge investment, starting at tens of millions. The high-end ones can go up to 100 million. It was my first time in a place like this. The environment wasn't noisy. It was just that the lighting was a bit dim. On the small stage in the middle, a girl was singing. My Jifang West. Singing this song in Shangcheng is quite interesting. She sang quite well. I found an inconspicuous empty seat and sat down. The waiter immediately came over with a tablet. Hello, sir. What would you like to drink? I took the tablet. It was full of flashy names. Things like Heart of the Ocean, Deep Love. I couldn't even tell what they were from the illustrations. I don't understand these things. Just get me a non-alcoholic drink. I returned the tablet to him. I have no interest in alcohol. I've always been moderate with my drinking. After all, if I get drunk, I am the one who suffers. Yes, sir. How about a glass of lemonade for you, sir? The waiter tapped a few times on the tablet. Okay. I took out my phone and opened the payment code. A glass of lemonade was 52 yuan, several times more expensive than outside. But now, 52 yuan to me is just a matter of taking a few more breaths. I've already earned it back. The lemonade was brought over quickly. I finally had time to check the system's rewards. Jiang Xiao had interrupted me earlier. Now, I could take a closer look. The system rewarded me with 10 million yuan in cash, bringing my account balance to 14.52 million. I originally thought I'd have to wait until I used the 90% real estate discount card to become a 10 millionaire. I didn't expect the cash in my account to have already surpassed 10 million. More importantly, now, the daily wealth blessing can earn me over 100,000. Soon, the cash in my account could exceed 20 million. The company was established at the right time. Otherwise, with such a large cash flow, even with the system helping to cover it up, it would be very difficult to completely hide the traces. Having a company as a front makes things much simpler. It's entirely possible to use financial tricks to legitimize this money. The system seemed to see through my thoughts. A ding notification sounded. The money will be transferred through a securities firm's channel. After the company is established, the system will, based on the position and importance of the employees, automatically increase their loyalty. The highest it can reach is 100 loyalty points. As expected of the perfect life system, every aspect has been thoughtfully considered. Once the money goes through the company account, there's no need to worry about the risk of exposure anymore. I even saved the effort of winning people over. I was originally worried that the company's employees were all Li Tianming's people, and I could be sidelined at any time. I was planning to use the A5 Wagyu beef treat to prove my financial strength and win people's hearts. Although the method is a bit old-fashioned, it is indeed effective. Now the system has directly solved this problem. I can finally rest assured. Looking at the remaining supercar and real estate. A Ferrari 812 convertible. Although I don't know much about cars, having the Ferrari logo certainly isn't cheap. I took out my phone to look it up and was immediately stunned by the system's generosity. The base model is already 4.85 million, and the one the system gave me is the top of the line. Fully optioned version, adding options and various taxes and fees. The on-road price directly jumps to over 7 million. But so what? It's a free gift from the system anyway. It'd be a waste not to take it. Ding. The host can claim the car at any time. Different cities will be issued different license plates. After claiming it, you need to go to a Ferrari 4-second store to pick up the car. The system has paid for everything in full. Even the license plate has been taken care of. This is truly an unexpected surprise. In big cities, the biggest headache when buying a car is the license plate. Especially in a place like Jiangcheng, getting a number is as hard as climbing to the heavens. So I decided to wait until I am in Jiangcheng before I claim the Ferrari 812. The most important part has finally arrived. The villa in Yunding Tiangong, Xiangcheng. When the system's notification sounded, I was stunned for a moment. Yunding Tiangong is the most high-end villa complex in Shangcheng. It was newly built 2 years ago, located right near the city center. The initial projected price was 540,000 yuan per square meter. It's quite a bit higher than the average price in Shangcheng, but it's absolutely worth the money. The smallest unit is over 1,000 square meters. That comes out to at least 50 million. This villa alone is worth half a small goal. Adding in the other assets, my assets have now firmly surpassed 70 million. If I include the consumption rebate card, exceeding 80 million isn't a problem. After taking stock of the gains, I exited the system space and took a sip of lemonade. The phone rang again. It was Luna calling to ask for the address. I said a few simple words and hung up. A few minutes later, the charming Luna walked over. Different from her office attire during the day, she was now wearing a red dress, showing off her already curvy figure, making it even more alluring. Every step was graceful and elegant, causing the surrounding gentlemen to turn their heads. She walked straight towards me and sat down with a bright smile. How did you know I wanted a drink? Mr. Jiang? I was a little helpless. Did you bring the documents? Luna pursed her lips and smiled. Don't be in such a hurry. I am thirsty. Treat me to a drink first. After saying that, she sat right next to me. I frowned. Do you need to sit that close? She shook her phone. Of course. The documents are all in here. I glanced at my watch. It's already 10:30. Luna noticed my Patek Philippe watch. A greedy glint flashed in her eyes. She ordered a set of B-52 bomber cocktails and leaned even closer to me. This clever woman was clearly not satisfied with just completing a simple deal like this. Luna was no innocent girl. She was only thinking now about how to fish for benefits. Whether it was using connections with the store manager or getting my help, it was all the same to her. Besides, I was richer and younger than the store manager. Perhaps she could even gain more benefits. As she got closer, I smelled a strange scent, mixed with the strong smell of cheap perfume, which made me frown involuntarily. I shifted to the side. How did you know I wanted to sit closer, Mr. Jiang? Luna slightly curled her red lips and directly took out her phone, opening the property photos in her album. Look at this one. 280 square meters. It's at the entrance of the Lin and Street subway station, a prime location, around 9.5 million yuan. This price was right within my budget range. 9 to 11 million was an acceptable range for me, but after seeing the photo, I shook my head. It's too narrow and long. The decoration will be very ugly. Are there any others? Luna quickly swiped to the next one. Yes. This one is 270 square meters. On the second floor of the food street, 9.7 million yuan. The location is indeed not bad. It's very suitable for a restaurant. But I still want to see more. She flipped to the third one, in a shopping mall. 280 square meters. 10.5 million. Customer flow is definitely guaranteed. In a shopping mall like this, while the property won't lack customers, that's about its limit. Mr. Jiang, if you're interested, you need to be quick and make a decision, Luna said as she leaned against me. I was only wearing a thin shirt, so I could clearly feel the softness of her chest. At this moment, the waiter just came back, carrying several colorful glasses of liquor. Miss, here's your B-52 bomber. Luna picked up a glass and was about to hand it to me. I quickly waved my hand. Sorry, I don't drink. This colorful glass of liquor already looked untrustworthy. I rarely even touch beer normally. Luna wouldn't let it go and urged, "Come on, just have one drink with me." I really couldn't refuse, so I had to take the glass. Just one. After this drink, well, talk business. One glass down. First, a cold liquid slid down my throat, which immediately turned into a burning sensation. It burned from my throat all the way to my stomach. This taste is so strange. It has both lemon and white liquor, and also a bitter taste. No wonder it's called a B-52 bomber. Luna wanted to offer a second glass. I resolutely refused to drink more. I quickly took a sip of lemonade to calm down. Seeing that she couldn't persuade me, Luna drank 3 glasses herself. Her face immediately turned red, and her eyes started to get hazy. This alcohol kicks in really fast, doesn't it? Mr. Jiang, let me introduce this property to you. Luna's entire body was pressed against me. My arm was being rubbed back and forth by her. Who could stand that? Even worse, she had taken off her high heels at some point. Her bare foot gently rubbed against my calf. This level of attack is too powerful. This property is very well designed. Minus the 30 square meter back kitchen, it can still fit 14 tables. Luna spoke close to my ear. Her hot breath made my ear itch. She flipped through the photo album on her phone, and suddenly flipped to a photo that made my eyes widen. In the photo, Luna was wearing revealing clothes, as if it was taken right after a workout. I quickly swiped past it, but the image was already imprinted in my mind. I returned the phone to her. Sorry. Luna leaned against me and said, I should be the one apologizing. I wasn't careful with my photos. She added with hazy eyes, Mr. Jiang, you can call me Nana. I was a bit stunned. She was more than 10 years older than me. Such an intimate form of address. Luna in the red dress was practically glued to my chest. Not only was she not angry, on the contrary, it seemed like she was waiting for me to praise her. Actually, I work out often, she said softly. I keep my figure quite well. If Mr. Jiang didn't see clearly, as she spoke, her hands started to wander. If I still didn't realize what Luna wanted to do, then I would have wasted all these years of my life. I never thought that I, the great handsome Jiang, would one day have the beauty trap used on me. Although this beauty is far from my standards, but this feeling of being pursued is quite satisfying. I silently activated the data eye and scanned Luna's stats. Beauty, 77 points. Barely considered still charming. Figure, 85 points. Indeed better than average. Purity, 35 points. It was followed by a system notification. A bus is not as good as a private car. This one carries risks. Please drive carefully. Seeing the 3 words carries risks, I quickly looked at the details carefully. If I hadn't looked, I would have been startled and jumped up. Sorry. I have a girlfriend. Luna was leaning against me. My sudden standing up made her stumble and fall right onto the sofa. Luckily, it was a sofa. Otherwise, she would have definitely fallen flat on her face. She looked at me blankly, completely, not understanding why my attitude suddenly. How could she know that I had just seen through her entire game? If I hadn't seen that her expression was already very ugly, I really wanted to advise her to go to the hospital for a comprehensive health check. And while she's at it, call a few of her friends to go with her. Luna forced a smile. Her professional quality is quite good. Mr. Jiang, I have no intention of replacing your girlfriend. She was very clear. Someone like me is fine for fooling around. Wanting to marry in is just a pipe dream. I directly moved to the opposite sofa and sat down, completely extinguishing her intentions. The beauty trap is fine, but spiking the drink is too much. Seeing my resolute attitude, Luna bit her lip and finished the remaining 7 glasses of liquor on the table. I had only drunk 1 glass. Now seeing her after she finished drinking, her speech was slurred. The power of the bomber is indeed well-deserved. Mr. Jiang, the location of this property is really good. Although the price is a bit expensive, it's especially suitable for you. Luna's face was flushed red, and her speech started to slur. I don't know if it was the effect of alcohol or the lighting. I looked at my watch. It was almost 12 o'clock. In her current state, it was impossible to discuss business. You're drunk. Let's call it a day. I returned her phone to her, who knew she would just slump onto the table and fall asleep. 1 second, she was talking. The next, she was snoring. That was too fast. Hey, don't pretend to be drunk. I pushed her. There was no reaction at all. This is troublesome. Now there are only 2 choices. Take her home or get a room. Getting a room is impossible. Knowing she had spiked the drink, how could I dare touch her? I tried to help her up, but she was drunk like a puddle of mud. I couldn't get her up no matter what, and I couldn't avoid physical contact. What a headache. I clearly just came to look at properties. How did it end up like this? Could it be that she deliberately got herself drunk to give me a chance? In the end, I still decided to take her home. I used her fingerprint to unlock her phone. I searched her contacts for Darling. The result was that just the note. Dear driver already had 5 or 6 people. Who am I supposed to call then? My phone suddenly rang. I took it out and found it was Huizi calling. Strange. Didn't she already quit? Hello, Miss Huizi. Mr. Jiang, sorry to bother you. I've found a property that meets your requirements. Are you free to go see it with me tomorrow morning? Although there was the incident with Luna earlier, but now I no longer have any good feelings for her. Tomorrow is fine. Well, contact each other then. Before hanging up, I suddenly called her back. Wait, do you know Luna's husband's phone number? The other end of the line clearly paused for a moment. Did Luna go find you? Yeah. She's drunk. Huizi's voice suddenly became tense. It'll be right over. Although I don't know her husband's phone number, but I know where her house is. I was originally going to refuse, but on second thought, I still gave her the address. In less than 20 minutes, Huizi arrived. She was wearing loose pajamas, her hair a mess. Her full bust heaved with her rapid breathing. One look and you could tell she had rushed out of the house. Mr. Jiang, she stood before me, panting. Her eyes held a hint of worry. I put my phone away and asked directly, Miss Huizi, you're here. Do you know how to drive? Huizi glanced at the drunk Luna and nodded, saying she could drive, but her skills aren't very good. As long as you haven't been drinking, it's fine. I gave her the BMW keys, license plate Chiang A, parked in the underground garage. Huizi hesitated a little. She usually only drove an old car. Suddenly having to drive a BMW, it was inevitable she'd be nervous. I called 2 waiters over, helped my friend outside. As they helped Luna, I took her handbag and phone. I couldn't be bothered to care if they would take advantage of the situation. Huizi carefully drove the car over. We worked together to stuff Luna into the back seat. I sat in the passenger seat, fastened my seatbelt. Let's take her home first. If I had known it would be this much trouble, I wouldn't have called Luna over. Huizi nervously gripped the steering wheel, keeping the speed below 40. For this BMW 7 Series, it was truly a bit of a grievance. Huizi suddenly spoke. Mr. Jiang, I've already quit my job at Angia. I closed my eyes. The alcohol, combined with my biological clock, was making me extremely sleepy. Please believe me. Huizi's voice was a bit hurried. Please give me another chance, I said calmly. I only care about the property. Other things have nothing to do with me. Although Huizi is very beautiful, but everyone has their own life. There are so many beautiful girls. You can't just fall in love with everyone you meet. The car drove for more than 10 minutes before arriving at Luna's house. There was no traffic at this hour. We arrived quickly. Halfway there, Luna's phone rang. The caller-ID showed child's father. I answered the phone for her and told her husband to come downstairs to pick her up. This contact name is quite interesting. It wasn't husband or darling, just child's father. It seems their relationship isn't very good, but this has nothing to do with me. Mr. Jiang, it's the residential area ahead. Huizi slowed down and drove over. The car's headlights shone on a man in a delivery uniform, standing at the entrance of the residential area, looking around. That's Luna's husband, Huizi said. I've met him once. After the car came to a complete stop, I got out of the car to greet him. Are you Mr. Wu? Yes. That's me. That's me. You are Mr. Jiang. He looked much older than Luna, like someone in their 40s. Miss Lu is drunk. I brought her back. I didn't say she got drunk on purpose. Less trouble is better than more. Aya, she can't hold her liquor but insists on drinking, causing you trouble. her husband said as he came to help Luna. Luna had told her husband in the afternoon that she was meeting a big client tonight. Now I am the one bringing her home. Clearly, I am that client. Her husband was obviously stunned for a moment. He didn't expect me to be so young, completely different from the greasy, middle-aged boss in his imagination. Mr. Wu, help Miss Lu back to rest. It's getting late. I should be going too. I directly opened the car door. Luna was sleeping soundly in the back seat. Hui Zi drove very steadily. Her posture hadn't changed at all. Nana, wake up. The husband called softly, shaking Luna gently, but she was dead drunk. Miss Lu drank too much. You might need to carry her up. I reminded him while standing by the car. The frail husband struggled to help Luna up. Getting her out of the car by himself was indeed very strenuous, but I pretended not to see. In the end, it was Hui Zi who couldn't stand it anymore. Let me help you. Although her order was stolen in the afternoon, Hui Zi was still magnanimous enough to help carry Lu Na out of the car. The husband carried his drunk wife on his back and stubbornly refused any more help. Mr. Wu, then well be leaving now. In his grateful gaze, Hui Zi and I got back in the car. Mr. Jiang, where to next? Hui Zi asked while smoothing her messy hair. After I gave my home address, I unconsciously fell asleep during the smooth car ride until Hui Zi gently woke me up. Mr. Jiang, we're here. She offered the car keys. I shook my head. It's not safe to take a taxi this late. You should just drive the car back. Just come pick me up tomorrow morning. After all, Hui Zi was just helping me find a property. Driving for 2 hours back and forth as a chauffeur was not originally part of her job scope. It was now past 1 a.m. A beautiful girl like Hui Zi taking a taxi late at night is indeed unsafe. But Hui Zi wanted to say something else, but I had already gotten out of the car. Be careful on the road. I won't pay if you crash it. After saying that, I closed the car door. Hui Zi gripped the car keys tightly, watching me walk towards the corridor under the streetlight. For a moment, she was speechless. We had only met twice, and yet I trusted her with the car. This trust left Hui Zi a bit dazed. Actually, the car has a GPS tracker. I am not at all afraid of her driving off with it. But Hui Zi didn't know that, after going through so many frustrating things, to suddenly be trusted like this. A strange feeling arose in Hui Zi's heart. I only came back to my senses when I entered the corridor. When I got home, my parents were already asleep. Knowing I was with Jiang Xiao, they were very relieved. I tiptoed to my room and went straight to sleep. Showering can wait until tomorrow morning. I woke up the next day. My parents had already gone out early, although the restaurant doesn't serve breakfast, but they were used to preparing in advance. I put the ring and watch on the bedside table. It was already 10 o'clock when I finished showering. I called Si Yao. She answered sleepily. Hello? Brother Jiang, still not awake yet? I asked with a laugh while drying my hair. I talked with Xiao too late last night. Then you two should sleep a little longer. I'll come pick you up for lunch at noon. Okay. If you're busy, we can just eat at the hotel. Si Yao's voice grew quieter and quieter. On second thought, she had a point. I had an appointment with Hui Zi to look at the property. The round trip could take several hours. If I get stuck in traffic, it'll be even more troublesome. We exchanged a few simple words before I hung up, so as not to wake her up. After hanging up, I immediately called Hui Zi. Hello, Brother Jiang. Good morning. The phone was answered instantly. It seemed like Hui Zi had been waiting for my call all along. I was stunned for a moment, then immediately replied, Miss Hui Zi, good morning. Is it convenient for you to pick me up now? We need to go handle the property matter. I am already downstairs at your place. Hui Zi's voice came through the phone. I walked to the window. Through the glass, I saw the BMW 7 Series parked downstairs. Wait a moment. I'll be right down. After hanging up, I quickly changed my clothes and went out. Hui Zi was standing nervously beside the car. She had borrowed my car last night. In order not to waste my time, she had been waiting downstairs since 8 a.m., but she still didn't dare to disturb me. This considerate action made me have a better impression of her. When I got in the car, Hui Zi proactively gave up the driver's seat. Good morning, Brother Jian. I've already contacted everyone for the property. We can go see it any time. I fastened my seatbelt. I turned my head and asked, Have you eaten breakfast? Hui Zi shook her head. She had woken up at 7. She arrived downstairs to wait at 8. Completely without time for breakfast. I made a decisive decision. Then let's eat breakfast first. Well, look at the property later. Although I wasn't usually considered assertive, but since I started preparing to open the company, I had been consciously training this decisiveness. Hearing my words, Hui Zi only then realized she was really hungry. The morning of a Xiangcheng person begins with a bowl of hot rice noodles. Having been in Jiangcheng for so long, what I missed most was this taste of home, and also the crispy, golden fried scallion pancakes. Just thinking about it was enough to make one's mouth water. Hui Zi was clearly not used to such a hearty breakfast. She only ordered soy milk and fried dough sticks. She was wearing business attire, attracting quite a few gazes from passers-by. As for me, I paid no mind to my image at all, wearing my usual designer clothes. I was just like an authentic Xiangcheng guy, slurping my noodles loudly, my leg constantly bouncing to the rhythm. This was the proper way to eat noodles. Tasting the flavor of home again after a month, a feeling of happiness naturally welled up. Ding. The system suddenly activated. Congratulations, host, for activating the hometown delicacy buff. Every time you eat a Shangcheng delicacy, your body's condition for the day will reach its peak. Stamina, endurance, and overall learning ability will be enhanced. This buff came at the perfect time. But what about in Jiangcheng? It seems ill. Have to find a Xiang cuisine chef. I suddenly remembered Chu Ling that Sichuan girl who cooks amazing Sichuan food. Xiang cuisine and Sichuan cuisine are practically from the same family. If I could hire her to cook for me exclusively, a few thousand yuan in exchange for a full status buff is truly a great deal. But for now, I should focus on handling matters in Shangcheng first. I drove to the property that Huizi found for me. It wasn't far from my house. I arrived in less than half an hour. The property was located in a small plaza in the CBD. It was previously a food and beverage business as well. The surrounding office buildings ensured a steady flow of customers. It was a good place to open a restaurant. It was only 11 a.m. now. There were already quite a few delivery drivers bustling about. It seemed like it would be very lively here at noon. Huizi introduced, Brother Jiang, this property is 260 square meters. Because of its good location, the unit price is nearly 40,000. And the total price is about 11 million. The previous tenant rented it annually, but they vacated the property due to financial problems. I quickly did the math. The annual rent here is at least 500,000. The pressure was indeed not small, but buying it would absolutely be a surefire investment. Sooner or later, Xiangcheng's property prices would rise again. Where's the owner? I asked, having already decided in my heart to buy this place, even though it was 1 million over budget, but I wasn't short on cash right now. Besides, I had the system's 90% discount real estate card as a safety net. Huizi replied, the owner is right here in this plaza. I'll contact them right away. This small plaza has dozens of shops. Without a phone call, it would be impossible to find the specific location. After Huizi made the call, the owner told us to wait at the property's entrance and that they would be right over. Huizi and I went to the front of the property and waited for 2 minutes. I saw a familiar person approaching. To say they were an acquaintance, we had actually only met once yesterday. Brother Jiang, that is the owner, Huizi said, pointing at the approaching woman. I was a little surprised. I originally thought the owner would be a middle-aged man. I didn't expect it to be the person who was with Xia Sai Yao yesterday, buying a ring. Auntie Tang. Auntie Tang also recognized me. After all, a young man, accompanied by 2 beauties, is hard to forget. She walked over and greeted me. Little Jiang. We meet again. I replied, yes, Auntie Tang. Huizi stood beside us, stunned. You two know each other? Auntie Tang said as she opened the door. I didn't expect little Jiang would want to buy a property. I also didn't expect this property to be yours, Auntie Tang. Auntie Tang laughed and said, actually, this entire complex is mine. Huizi and I were both stunned. This small plaza had nearly 100 storefronts. Each one was worth tens of millions. In that case, Auntie Tang's fortune was at least over 1 billion. I originally thought my own assets were about to surpass 100 million. I was finally feeling a little confident. But who knew that, just as I was getting complacent, I'd run into a real tycoon. Unlike someone like Letian Ming, Auntie Tang was in real estate with a full 100 storefronts. Just the monthly rent collection alone would be several million. Thinking about it, I wasn't that far behind. With the money blessing, my income was even higher than Auntie Tang's. Thinking this way, I quickly calmed down. Auntie Tang saw this and looked at me in a new light. To be able to calm down so quickly, this kid is not simple. Actually, these aren't mine, Auntie Tang said lightly. They're all assets left by my late husband. My son was still young back then, and I didn't know how to do business, so I just bought everything to collect rent. I didn't expect to earn quite a bit from it. Huizi and I were both dumbfounded by these words. This plaza was built 15 years ago. That means Auntie Tang bought all the storefronts 15 years ago. Huizi exclaimed in surprise. Auntie Tang smiled without answering. 15 years ago, Xiangcheng's real estate market was just starting to boom. Land prices were still cheap. Now, property prices have multiplied several times over. I silently complained. This is what you call not having a business mind? Auntie Tang changed the subject. Let's talk business. This shop's location is good. Customer flow is guaranteed. Taking it over is a surefire way to make a profit. I understood her sales pitch. Sellers always like to hype up their products to the high heavens. Just like during the era when health supplements were rampant, health supplement sellers could all become the richest people. But I had my own plan. I waited for Auntie Tang to finish. I smiled and replied, Auntie Tang, I am buying the shop to open a Shang cuisine restaurant. This unit isn't very suitable. For example, sewage disposal is a big issue. This was indeed a practical problem. Why do high-end commercial districts all open Western restaurants, besides being stylish? It's also because Western food produces less kitchen waste. But Hunan cuisine is different. There are a lot of leftovers. It's impossible to recycle and resell it. This kitchen waste must be specially treated. It can't be discharged directly into the sewer. She praised her property, and I pointed out its flaws. This is what you call a business negotiation. Normally, Auntie Tang should have refuted me, emphasizing the property's value. But not only did she not refute me, She even nodded and said, "Little Jiang is right. This property isn't very convenient for a Hunan restaurant. How about this? I'll lower the price a bit more." How does 9.3 million yuan sound? I was stunned. This was completely different from what I expected. Not only did she not raise the price, she even took the initiative to lower it. At this price, after completing all the procedures, the total price would be exactly around 10 million yuan, even though it was only 500,000 yuan cheaper. But for a transaction in the tens of millions, this discount was truly negligible. But it had reached my psychological price point. Deal. Auntie Tang was so straightforward. I couldn't be bothered to haggle further. 10 million yuan was exactly the limit for the 90% discount card. I could get the maximum benefit. A 500,000 yuan discount. All problems were solved. Then let's prepare to sign the contract. Okay. A multi-million yuan deal was decided just like that in a few sentences. Hui Zi, standing beside us, couldn't even get a word in. Is this how big shots negotiate? A 10 million deal decided in an instant, completely without needing much input from the agent. Of course, it was mainly because I was in a hurry and wanted to resolve it quickly, so I could return to school with peace of mind. Fortunately, this shop was originally a food and beverage business. The previous owner didn't take anything when they left. The tables and chairs were just a little dusty. They could be used after a little cleaning. Once the paperwork is done, I plan to hire a cleaner for a thorough cleaning. Auntie Tang, I couldn't help but ask, "May I ask why you are selling this property?" There were things I didn't say directly, but everyone understood the implication. For example, if the property was involved in debt or financial disputes, it could be very troublesome later on. Huizi quickly answered, "Brother Jiang, please rest assured, the ownership of this property is very clear. It only changed hands once 15 years ago. It's completely in Director Tang's name. As an agent, investigating the property's status was her responsibility. The high agent fee wasn't just for show. If there were any problems, the agent would be held responsible. Actually, I was just asking casually. If there were a real problem, the system would have notified me long ago." Auntie Tang, however, was very frank. "I want to sell some properties, to invest in a new project." My heart stirred slightly, but I didn't say anything more, just nodded. We were mere acquaintances. Getting too personal with a new acquaintance is a taboo. Huizi finished organizing the documents. If there are no problems, I'll go handle the procedures now. I glanced at my watch and called her back. "What's the fastest it can be done?" Huizi quickly estimated and replied, "The procedure itself isn't complicated, but it's right during the National Day holiday. Some processes will have to be postponed." I nodded. "Handle it as quickly as possible. I have other uses for this property. Rest assured, Brother Jiang. I will definitely resolve it with the utmost speed." Huizi's expression turned serious, and she immediately gave her assurance. As I got into the car, I caught a glimpse of Huizi answering the phone with a disgusted look on her face. Luna. The car drove past her. I could still hear her talking. It seems Luna was still causing trouble after sobering up, but I paid no mind to people like her. Comparatively, Huizi's work ethic made me admire her even more. After hanging up, Huizi put Luna out of her mind because the manager had fired her. She had nothing to fear anymore, but Huizi didn't want to give up on my deal. She keenly spotted a loophole. Although the manager had fired her, the head office hadn't approved it yet. The termination agreement also hadn't been signed. There was still a chance. A golden glint flashed in Huizi's eyes. She had already submitted evidence of the manager's abuse of power to the head office. It wasn't over yet. Now, she was going all in. The urgent task was to perfectly complete this transaction of mine, because it was currently the National Day holiday. Some matters needed to be handled by relevant agencies. No matter how fast the procedure, it would likely take some time. As for how Huizi would prepare these things, I didn't care. Right now, my attention was fully focused on another reward from the system, a Yunding Tiangong villa. I gripped the steering wheel while pondering in my heart. Just then, my phone rang. "Brother Jiang, are you done with your business?" On the phone, Shai Xiao's voice came through. Before Shai Xiao finished speaking, I could hear my sister's cheers on the phone. It was clear that these two girls were out having fun together again. "I should be done in a little while." "What are you and Xiao Xiao doing?" I asked with a smile while watching the traffic. "I didn't expect your Xiang Cheng to have so many fun places." "Xiao Xiao is taking me around." Si Yao's voice revealed a light-hearted joy. "That Xiao Xiao. She's not good at other things, only at having fun. As for my business, it should be done in about 2 or 3 hours. I'll drive to find you two then. I'll treat you two great beauties to dinner then." I teased with a smile. Before Xiao could speak, Jiang Xiao beside her leaned close to the microphone and shouted, "Brother, I want to eat a big meal. Don't you dare be stingy in front of your sister-in-law." Jiang Xiao's loud voice made me turn down the volume. All right, don't worry. You two go have fun. I'll come find you later." After ending the call, I immediately drove to downtown Shangcheng. Yunding Tiangong was a high-end villa complex, built by a top domestic developer. As soon as I got out of the car, an employee from the sales office came out to greet me. This employee, from the moment I got out of the car, saw the designer watch on my wrist. His eyes paused for a moment, and the smile on his face grew brighter. For people like them, having a keen eye is essential. So when he saw the Patek Philippe on my wrist, this employee already had a clear assessment in his mind. His attitude towards me became particularly respectful. "Sir, please come in. I wonder if you're here to see a house or..." I glanced at this employee. The name tag, hanging around his neck, showed he was just a regular salesperson. "On the way to the sales office," I said casually. "2 days ago, I bought a villa and paid in full. I am here to handle the relevant procedures." Hearing this, the employee paused in his steps slightly. Then he smiled and led me to the rest area. After politely asking me to wait a moment, he immediately turned and walked away more quickly to find Manager Wang from the sales office. After learning the situation, the manager also took it very seriously. Without a second word, he directly took a tablet and came before me. "Sir, my surname is Wang. You can call me Little Wang. May I know your esteemed surname?" Manager Wang asked with a smile. I nodded in acknowledgement. "My surname is Jiang. Mr. Jiang. It's like this. This villa of yours has been fully paid for. What's left are the title transfer procedures. Do you need us to help you with the relevant procedures?" Manager Wang asked very thoughtfully. I nodded nonchalantly. Manager Wang didn't say another word. He directly led me to the VIP office area on the 3rd floor. "Mr. Jiang, rest assured, the process won't take too long. We will take care of most things. You just need to confirm there are no errors in sign, because the system had previously paid in full to buy this villa, plus my extraordinary aura, and the Patek Philippe on my wrist." Manager Wang, who had met countless people, knew at a glance that my status was not ordinary. For such a major client, I didn't even need to say anything. Manager Wang and the others would automatically classify me into the group of most esteemed clients worth maintaining a relationship with. Throughout the entire process, I just had to hold a pen and sign. All other related procedures were handled by the sales center, and some procedures were even handled personally by Manager Wang. The entire process only took a little over an hour. Such high efficiency and service were entirely built on the foundation of money. But who told me to have such power? Manager Wang smiled and put away the final contract. "Mr. Jiang, basically there are no other procedures to be done. As for the property ownership contract and the real estate certificate, I am afraid we'll have to wait until after the National Day holiday for approval, because the relevant agencies are on holiday. But rest assured, as soon as they return to work, we will immediately prioritize your paperwork," Manager Wang said with an enthusiastic attitude. I nodded slightly. "Okay, I hope you can do it as quickly as possible." Manager Wang beside me nodded repeatedly. After receiving the villa keys, I left. Manager Wang stood by and watched my car drive away. This young man is not simple at all. Manager Wang returned to his office, took a sip of tea, and sighed. At this moment, I had no idea about Manager Wang's assessment of me. I was driving towards Xiang Cheng's largest shopping mall. Xia Xiao and Jiang Xiao were here. A woman's fighting power truly cannot be underestimated. From morning to afternoon, these two women hadn't rested at all. When I met them, I could still see the unsatisfied expressions on Xia Xiao's and Jiang Xiao's faces. It was very clear that this day of shopping for the two of them was not tiring, although the things they were carrying in their hands were not few. When she saw my car drive up, Jiang Xiao jumped for joy. Without a second word, she directly stuffed her things into my car. "I am so tired. Brother, if you don't treat us to a big meal today, tell Mom and Dad." I realized that since Xia Xiao arrived, this little girl Jiang Xiao was no longer afraid of me. It seems she was borrowing the tiger's might. I narrowed my eyes and said in a slightly threatening tone, "It seems I won't be able to buy you what you wanted." Unexpectedly, Jiang Xiao was not afraid at all. Her face beamed as she linked arms with Xia Xiao. "Sister-in-law bought it for me already. I don't want yours anymore." Beside us, Xia Xiao smiled faintly. I sighed and pretended to be troubled. "It seems my good little sister isn't afraid of me anymore. Don't tell me you're siding with your sister-in-law and becoming one family." "Of course, I've always wanted a sister." Throughout the journey, Xia Xiao kept smiling, listening to us siblings tease each other. Such a warm atmosphere made Xia Xiao unconsciously relax. As for me, although I was teasing my sister, I was also always paying attention to Xia Xiao's condition. You have to know that Xia Xiao, before, could be said to have been forced to come to me by her stepmother. Seeing the sadness on Xia Xiao's face disappear, I also felt relieved. As for Xia Xiao's evil stepmother, Liu Yan, I had no intention of letting her off. Unknowingly, the car gradually came to a stop. I had already chosen a place for dinner. This was a rather secluded private kitchen in Shangcheng. Xia Xiao was long accustomed to this type of private kitchen, but Jiang Xiao's face showed curiosity. After all, a place hidden in an alley, if no one recommended it, you would never know it was a restaurant. Jiang Xiao had rarely been to such places. This once again made Jiang Xiao, this little girl, realize that her brother had really earned a lot of money from investing. It was indeed a renowned private kitchen, The specialty dishes were delicious, but I was surprised to find that, if we were really talking about the taste of the food, I am afraid Chu Linger was still a notch above. But this restaurant also had some other delicious dishes. Shai Si Yao didn't pay too much attention to the food. On the other hand, Jiang Xiao beside her loved it. She ate until her stomach was full. I looked at my sister's appearance and shook my head helplessly. Jiang Xiao ate her fill and fell asleep. She dozed off as soon as she got in the car. I drove Shai Si Yao straight back to the hotel, then took my restless little sister home. When I got back to my room, my phone rang. I opened it and saw a message. It was from Wei Tianyu. Since the last time Wei Tianyu told me about Wang San, bad-mouthing me behind my back, he hadn't contacted me much. I didn't know why. So late at night, he would suddenly message me. I opened my phone and clicked on Wei Tianyu's chat box. Old Jiang, are you coming to the class reunion tomorrow? This time, everyone's coming. If you have time, you should come. You can bring your sister-in-law too, so we can meet her. Opening the chat history, it was all consecutive messages from Wei Tianyu. I thought about recent events. The procedures for the shop and the villa were being handled by Hui Zi and manager Wang. I didn't have anything to do. Besides, it was just a small class reunion. Since Wei Tianyu had put it that way, I might as well go. As for what that kid Wei Tianyu said about bringing my sister-in-law to meet everyone, I had no intention of listening to that kid, even if I were to introduce Shai Si Yao to my brothers. I couldn't choose a class reunion, such a chaotic time. A private gathering with my brothers would be fine. With so many people, Xi Yao wouldn't feel comfortable either. So I thought about it and replied to Wei Tianyu. I'll go tomorrow, but don't expect to meet your sister-in-law. Wei Tianyu replied instantly, sending a wailing sticker, but he didn't say anything else. For Wei Tianyu, my attendance was already a great show of respect to our classmates. Whether my girlfriend came or not was her business. There was really no need to force it. Because the reunion was about to be held, I could see a lot of messages in the group chat. Even many of the quiet ones showed up, but most of the classmates were discussing tomorrow's event. To me, this conversation was meaningless, so I just exited. I returned to my room after showering. After a brief chat with Wei Tianyu, I put my phone down. I looked at the dark night sky outside the window and began to reflect. I didn't expect that in just a few months. Remembering my high school years, I only felt that it was too distant from me. It was as if in these few short months, my life had been elevated. Looking back at those high school classmates, even I found them too immature. The next day, at the appointed time, I sat in the BMW 7 Series, leisurely driving to the destination. Arriving at the entrance of the hotel, hosting the reunion, I looked through the window and saw Wei Tianyu looking around. Wei Tianyu waited and waited, but didn't see me arrive. Then he suddenly saw a BMW 7 Series brake sharply and stop in front of him. Wei Tianyu subconsciously wanted to step aside when he saw the car window being rolled down, and a familiar voice sounded in his ear, "Old Wei." Wei Tianyu bent down slightly and looked into the car window. "Old Jiang, that's awesome. You're even driving a luxury car now. You can get rich even in college." Wei Tianyu looked at the car and said sourly, "After all, what man doesn't love cars? Especially people like Wei Tianyu, who currently didn't have the financial ability to buy such cars. Let's talk later. I'll park first." Wei Tianyu chuckled and stood there enviously watching the BMW 7 Series drive into the parking area. Just as I walked over, Wei Tianyu came over and punched me on the shoulder. "Looks like you're living well now," Wei Tianyu said teasingly. I smiled without answering and followed Wei Tianyu into the main hall. This time, it was initiated by old Wang. He specially chose a hotel like this. Wei Tianyu, as we walked, briefly introduced it to me. Because the timing for this gathering was deliberately chosen during the National Day holiday, so basically everyone in the class came. Moreover, they also invited everyone's old homeroom teacher. By now, almost everyone should be here, Wei Tianyu said as he pushed open the door with me. As expected, there were already many familiar faces waiting in the hall. As soon as they saw Wei Tianyu and me walk in, everyone's eyes turned towards us. "So it's Jiang Chen." After seeing me, everyone smiled. I had given out red envelopes in the group chat before. Everyone had received a decent amount of money. This also made these old friends smile when they saw me. All smile. I greeted a few acquaintances and found a seat with Wei Tianyu. "Old Jiang, I heard you have a girlfriend. What does sister-in-law look like? We've never met her." Wei Tianyu was extremely curious about my unseen girlfriend, although he knew she definitely wouldn't be the ugly monster Wang San described. But people are all curious. I chuckled. "That curious, huh? When we have a private get-together, I'll bring your sister-in-law for you guys to meet." Wei Tianyu and a few other guys beside him laughed heartily. "Oh right, how's college life? Is life at Jiangcheng University really good?" I looked at the admiration in the other's eyes and shook my head with a light smile. "Isn't college life all the same? It's nothing special." Although I said it humbly, the others naturally didn't think so. After all, Jiangcheng University was a gathering place for talent. If life there was really the same as at other universities, then why would everyone fight tooth and nail to get into Jiangcheng University? This is just my humble way of putting it. Everyone understood in their hearts, speaking and laughing. The feeling of distance between everyone due to time and space gradually faded away. Everyone was like they used to be. Speaking of which, I think Jiang Chen has changed so much compared to before. Of course the change is big, he said while laughing. The eyes of the male classmates were all on me. I just smiled without saying anything. When Wei Tianyu heard this, he had something to say. Just now, Jiang Chen drove a BMW 7 Series here. That car. Speaking of this, Wei Tianyu showed a look of admiration. The male classmates on this side all widened their eyes. Jiang Chen, your watch is really nice. Where did you buy it? A male classmate from an ordinary family curiously looked at my wrist and asked. I just bought it casually. It's nothing, I explained with a smile. But not every male classmate was clueless about brands. A few male classmates from well-off families showed hesitation, not knowing whether to speak up or not. At this moment, the door was pushed open again. Seeing the person who walked in, everyone's face showed a look of joy. The person who walked in was none other than the person everyone hadn't seen in a long time, Teacher Gi. The high school homeroom teacher. Teacher Gi from high school had taken great care of everyone. He could be considered a very good homeroom teacher. So, the moment Teacher Gi walked in, most people stood up. Hello, Teacher Gi. Everyone greeted him. Teacher Gi, in high spirits and with a face full of kindness, smiled as he walked in. Everyone, stop standing. Sit down. All of you. Don't be so formal. Teacher Gi came in and said cheerfully. Among a crowd of young faces, Teacher Gi accidentally saw me. My every gesture was different from those around me, who had just stepped into university. Whether it was my attire or my aura, it created a distance from others. Jiang Chen, if I remember correctly, you got into Jiangcheng University, right? You've changed so much since starting university. Teacher Gi smiled and walked up to me. I smiled and nodded. Teacher Gi was very good to me before. He helped me a lot, so I also respected Teacher Gi very much. Just as Teacher Gi was about to turn, his eyes accidentally fell on the watch on my wrist. Although, when he just came in, Teacher Gi had noticed at a glance that my clothes weren't cheap, but it wasn't until he saw the Patek Philippe on my wrist that Teacher Gi was truly stunned. When he saw the watch on my wrist, his first reaction was disbelief. After all, in Teacher Ji's previous impression, my family didn't seem to be very wealthy, yet now I could afford a Patek Philippe. Instinctively, Teacher Gi looked at me one more time. The watch I was wearing on my wrist happened to be a model that Teacher Gi had particularly liked before. It was just that Teacher Ji's financial situation didn't allow for it. Now, he could tell with just a glance that the one on my wrist was genuine. After all, he himself had researched this brand very thoroughly. Jiang Chen, it seems your university life is quite different from others, Teacher Gi said to me meaningfully. I naturally saw the look in Teacher Ji's eyes and also understood what he meant, so I smiled and walked beside Teacher Gi, heading towards the seats. Isn't it just that I am using my free time to do a little investing? Teacher Gi looked at my humble smile. I can see you're not just playing around, but since you got into Jiangcheng University, it's good to have the ability to learn more. Most of the others around didn't understand what Teacher Gi and I were talking about, but those close to me, like Wei Tianyu, now understood my changes clearly. During the reunion, I could clearly feel that Teacher Ji's attitude towards me had become much more enthusiastic. He mostly asked about matters related to investing. After all, I had told Teacher Gi that I had earned a small amount through investing. Actually, this requires a certain sensitivity to the market. You must be decisive when entering and exiting. I sipped the tea on the table while talking to the people gathered around. Although Wei Tianyu's family wasn't wealthy, they were better off than most, though not at the top. When he heard I was investing recently, he hesitated for a moment, then he leaned in and said, my parents have been keeping a tight leash on me lately. I have some secret money saved up. How about I leave it with you? You can invest it for me. We're not aiming for great riches. I just want to hide the money with you, Wei Tianyu said seriously. Especially when talking about his parents searching for his private money, his face was full of pain. It was clear that he was strictly managed at home. The others saw his exaggerated appearance and laughed until their stomachs hurt. The atmosphere for a moment was livened up by Wei Tianyu. Actually, Wei Tianyu's art school was quite expensive. If his family didn't have some means, they probably couldn't afford it. But precisely because he attended an ordinary art school, Wei Tianyu's family was worried he would pick up bad habits, so they wanted to tighten Wei Tianyu's purse strings completely. But his expression, though exaggerated, Wei Tianyu himself, regarding money, didn't have an excessive desire for it. He thought that leaving it unused was just leaving it unused anyway. It was better to give it to me to invest for fun. It could also let us brothers practice our skills. It's better than spending it wastefully himself. My mind has always been better than Wei Tianyu's. Besides, I am a top student at Jiangcheng University. Wei Tianyu was very assured in giving the money to me. I heard Wei Tianyu's proposal. I nodded in agreement without a second thought. Even a mosquito is meat. Besides, Wei Tianyu is my sworn brother. I can still help with this small matter. Don't worry. I absolutely won't let your profit margin be low. I promised. but Wei Tianyu didn't pay any mind to my words. According to him, this investing business was all based on luck. As long as I didn't lose too much of his money, it would be fine. Little did he know he had already boarded my express train to success. As the conversation went on, for some reason, everyone brought up Wang Shan. Wang Shan, didn't you say last time that Jiang Chen has a girlfriend? Before Wang Shan could even speak, someone next to her spoke up. Wang Shan even said she saw what his girlfriend looks like. Since arriving at this class reunion, because no one paid attention to her, Wang Shan had been sitting alone for a long time. Now that someone had finally started a conversation with her, Wang Shan couldn't hold back anymore. With ulterior motives, Wang Shan couldn't hide the malice in her eyes. Of course I saw her. Wang Shan directly found a seat among the girls, acting as if she knew the truth. She looked at me from not far away. A complex glint flashed through Wang Shan's eyes. That girlfriend Jiang Chen found. I don't know what kind of spell she cast on him. It's one thing to be short and ugly, but she's also so fat she has no curves. Wang Shan spoke words that slandered Xia Xiao. The others saw that Wang Shan was speaking as if it were true. They became even more curious. Is it really like that? How could Jiang Chen be interested in that? A girl next to her said disdainfully. Wang Shan stomped her foot and rolled her eyes. The lies flowed out like a stream. Didn't you guys see that all his clothes are designer brands? Who knows? Maybe he's being kept by a rich old woman. How many rich old women are actually beautiful? Isn't the trend now to struggle for 20 years less? Who knows? Maybe the red envelope you all fought for that day was the rich old woman's money. The more Wang Shan spoke, the more smoothly she lied. The lies she fabricated sounded more and more like the truth. She spoke to the point that a few girls with no firm opinions actually started to believe it a little. So, he's being kept by a rich old woman. If that's really the case, then I really look down on Jiang Chen. A few classmates next to her muttered, and the expression on Wang Shan's face grew more and more smug. At this moment, a girl let out a cold laugh. You've told so many lies that you've started to believe them yourself. Huh. Wang Shan immediately looked to the side. This person was none other than Wang Linger, the person whose red envelope Wang Shan snatched earlier. How do you know I am lying? Everything I said is the truth, Wang Shan retorted. Wang Linger simply looked down on Wang Shan, but she had no proof herself, so she could only pout and say nothing more. Just as Wang Shan was enthusiastically slandering, my phone suddenly rang. Brother Jiang, are you done over there? Xia Xiao's laughing voice came from the other end of the line. Before I could even answer, Wei Tianyu next to me shouted, Ooh, isn't this sister-in-law calling to check up on you? This loud shout from Wei Tianyu caused everyone in the room to look at me. Xia Xiao on the other end heard it. Wei Tianyu's shout and her face turned bright red. Originally, Xia Xiao hadn't intended to make this call. It was because Jiang Tioqiao said that Xia Xiao had to fulfill her girlfriend duties. She had to check in on time. Only then, under Jiang Tioqiao's instigation, did Xia Xiao call me. And as soon as she called, she heard the booming voice of that fool Wei Tianyu. That sister-in-law made Xia Xiao's face flush red, but in her heart, Xia Xiao felt incredibly sweet. At least it showed that I had let my brothers know about her. It meant I held her in my heart. I patted Wei Tianyu's shoulder. All right, don't scare your sister-in-law, Brother Jiang, Xia Xiao called shyly from the other end. My reunion is almost over. I've been drinking. Do you and Teo Xiao want to come pick me up? I smiled and negotiated with Xia Xiao. As soon as Xia Xiao heard I had been drinking, her shyness lessened a bit. Then you absolutely must not drive yourself. Wait for me and Teo Xiao to come over. On my end. I smiled and hung up the phone. The girls' side had already been discussing for a long time. After Wei Tianyu's strange shout, most of the girls' gazes fell on me, especially after hearing me say that Xia Xiao was coming to pick me up. Wang Shan's expression could no longer be described as just ugly. Wang Linger had been watching Wang Shan's expression the whole time. Now that Wang Shan's expression was so ugly, Wang Linger understood clearly in her heart. Oh, the actual person is coming soon. At that time, I really want to see what this rich old woman looks like. Wang Linger said sarcastically from the side. By now, most people had come to their senses. They instinctively looked at Wang Shan, and they also saw Wang Shan's ugly expression. At this moment, Wang Shan's face was pale. She hadn't expected me to ask Xia Xiao to come. Doesn't this mean that the lies I just made up are about to be exposed? But Wang Shan was still stubborn. She insisted on being stubborn. I am not afraid even if she comes. Isn't she just an ordinary-looking woman? Although Wang Shan's words were tough, her tone had softened considerably. A girl next to her who had long disliked Wang Shan also spoke up. Just now you were saying she was ugly. Now she's become ordinary-looking. Wang Shan pressed her lips together tightly and said nothing. It was just that she was getting more and more restless. The anger in her heart grew stronger. In less than half an hour, Xia Xiao and Jiang Tioqiao arrived at the hotel entrance. Xia Xiao looked shy. Brother Jiang is at a class reunion. If I go in now, will it? Jiang Tioqiao immediately knew that Xia Xiao was feeling a bit shy. After all, she was meeting her brother's high school classmates. Even though Xia Xiao's own qualities were not bad, she still felt a vague sense of nervousness. Jiang Tioqiao rolled her eyes and said immediately, Sister-in-law, don't be shy. Do you remember that Wang Shan girl I mentioned before? I heard from my brother. This person is really shameless. She came to this reunion too. Maybe this woman is at the reunion, insulting my brother somehow. Now is the time for you, sister-in-law, to step up. Hearing Jiang Tiaochao's words, the nervousness and shyness in Xie Xiao's heart immediately vanished. The vicious words from last time, at the lingerie store, that Wang Shan said, Xia Xiao still remembered them clearly. Just thinking of this person, Xia Xiao was like a bristling hedgehog. She entered the hotel with a soaring aura. Seeing Xia Xiao's back, full of killing intent, Jiang Tiaochao secretly laughed and immediately followed. It seems my future sister-in-law really does protect her man with all her might. Xia Xiao had asked me which room it was before, so after entering, she immediately found a waiter to lead the way. It wasn't long before they were outside the door. Jiang Tiaotiao linked arms with Xia Xiao and pushed the door open directly. A class reunion like this is bound to be very noisy. Even if they knocked, they might not be heard. It was better to just open the door and go in. The moment the door opened, the noise in the room gradually disappeared. It's hard to imagine in a hotel like this, there would be a room that was dead silent. Everyone's eyes were fixed on the two girls, who were standing beautifully at the door. Jiang Tiaochao looked a bit like me, so everyone recognized at a glance that Jiang Tiaochao was my sister. As for the beauty whose arm Jiang Tiaochao was holding, she was the center of attention in the entire room. Wei Tianyu stared blankly. He knew I had high standards, but he never expected that I would find such a great beauty. Xia Xiao's figure and beauty could both be considered top tier. The moment she pushed open the door, she became the focus of the entire room. After the male classmates came to their senses, each and every one of them looked at me with admiration. Not bad. Old Jiang, what kind of luck did you run into? You managed to win over a girl with such looks. I smiled and accepted the envious comments from the side. The eyes of every one of these male classmates couldn't leave Xia Xiao. Although everyone had seen beautiful women before, someone like Xia Xiao, who was clearly at the campus belle level, was not commonly seen. As for the girls, upon seeing Xia Xiao, they immediately fell silent. This time, the mystery surrounding Xia Xiao was finally unveiled. In the hearts of the female classmates, suddenly, a few girls understood why Wang Shan would spread such malicious and envious rumors. Such a beautiful girl, a beauty with such looks, it's no wonder someone like Wang Shan would develop such a malicious heart. Truly, whether it was her figure or her beauty, she completely crushed Wang Shan. You're telling me this is a rich old woman, the legendary rich old woman who keeps a pretty boy? Wang Linger did not miss the opportunity to kick her while she was down. She mocked Wang Shan. Wang Shan's face had long since turned pale. Pricked by Wang Linger's words, she couldn't utter a single word. But the clothes on this beauty are really not cheap, a girl next to her said weakly. It wasn't hard to tell from her voice that there was a hint of envious admiration mixed in. I heard Wei Tianyu say earlier that not long ago, Jiang Chen seemed to have played around in the stock market. A little investment. He also earned quite a bit. He earns money with his own abilities. How could there be a situation where one university student keeps another? I heard Jiang Chen's girlfriend is also a student at Jiangcheng University. I don't think it's that kind of relationship. There were a few rather discerning girls on the side, and with good judgment discussing in low voices. From what I see, this isn't a rich old woman keeping a pretty boy. This is clearly a match made in heaven between equals. Wang Linger glanced at Wang Shan and said gloatingly. Xia Xiao also didn't expect that just by pushing the door open, the room would fall silent. She even briefly thought that her clothes were inappropriate. She secretly asked Jiang Tiaochao, is there something on my face? Why isn't anyone talking? Jiang Tiaochao next to her could see clearly the surprised looks on everyone's faces. Jiang Tiaochao just winked mischievously. Sister-in-law, you've underestimated the power of your beauty. Just as everyone had not fully recovered, I stepped forward. I led Xia Xiao and my sister in. All right, my family is here to pick me up. I won't be hanging out with you guys too late today. Wei Tianyu pulled me back directly. Old Jiang, that's not right of you. Sister-in-law just showed up and you're already trying to take her away. It seems you're trying to hide a beauty in a golden house. I laughed and punched Wei Tianyu. It's too late today. We'll get together some other day, brothers. Although I said that, I still turned back to introduce Wei Tianyu and everyone else to Xia Xiao. Xia Xiao smiled with her lips pressed together. She greeted Wei Tianyu and the others one by one. I also introduced Xie Xiao to Teacher Gi. Teacher Ji laughed heartily and gave me a thumbs up. This kid really has a good eye. I smiled without saying anything. Xia Xiao beside me was also a bit shy. On the contrary, the little girl Jiang Tiaochao had a very proud expression. My brother not only has good taste, but also good luck. My sister-in-law is a one-in-a-million kind of good person. I agree with that point. Beside me, Wei Tianyu and my other close brothers immediately nodded in agreement. All right, we'll get together another day. Everyone be safe tonight, Teacher Ji said with a smile. After I led the two beauties to say goodbye to everyone, we turned and left the hotel. Although I had left, I was still the main character of this reunion. Everyone was surprised that I could have such a big change in such a short time. They also admired my current life. Teacher Ji was getting old. Seeing that it was getting late, he also smiled and left. After Teacher G left, the others also pretty much dispersed. If we were to say what this class reunion left, the deepest impression on everyone, it would be none other than me and my girlfriend, Xia Xiao. Even many years later, people would still remember in their memories this appearance of mine and Xia Xiao's. Xia Xiao drove me and Jiang Tiao Qiao to the outside of the apartment complex. Do you need me to take you home? I smiled and looked at Xia Xiao. Xia Xiao shook her head. No need. You've been drinking. Go home and rest. I can get back on my own. I nodded. Then be careful on your way. Xia Xiao hummed in agreement, then drove my car away. When she was about to reach the hotel and was waiting at a red light, a girl on the side looked at the BMW 7 Series and then confirmed it once more. It wasn't until Xi Xiao stepped on the gas and drove away that the girl on the street came back to her senses. This person was none other than Hui Zi, the Angia real estate agent I had looked for before. Hui Zi was still out on the street this late because she had just finished a procedure for the store I had bought. The next day when I woke up, I checked WeChat. The university homeroom teacher, Teacher Luo, was in the group. He had announced new information about the changes in the class committee. Basically, aside from the class president and vice president, there were no major changes. However, this new vice president was an acquaintance of mine. It was the former party branch secretary, Song Yaki. Her abilities were not bad, and she was a hard worker. Everyone, regarding Song Yaki's appointment as vice president, had no objections. Originally, Song Yaki's relationship in the class with everyone was quite good. Plus, for the others now, as long as the former class president who only knew how to bully his own people into office wasn't in charge, it didn't matter who became the vice president. Besides, when Song Yaki was doing youth league work, she also got along very well with everyone. I glanced through the messages in the group, then immediately exited. To me, this was just a small matter. I had just put my phone down. My sister Jiang Tiao Qiao pushed the door open and walked in. Brother, I want to go hang out with sister-in-law. Hurry up and drive me there. I was startled by Jiang Tiao Qiao suddenly opening the door. You don't even know to knock when entering a room. All you do all day is go out and play with your sister-in-law. Although that's what I said, I still got up and walked to the door. Halfway there, I suddenly turned back to look at Jiang Tiao Qiao and said, your sister-in-law already drove the car away yesterday. Jiang Tiao Qiao also slapped her forehead. I forgot about that. Let me call sister-in-law. Jiang Tiao Qiao stuck out her tongue and made a funny face, glancing out the window. A familiar car was parked at the gate. It seems sister-in-law and I are really on the same wavelength. No need to call. She's already here to pick me up. Jiang Tiao Qiao turned her head and immediately forgot all about her brother. She grabbed her handbag and went out. I shrugged helplessly. I don't know how these two girls, when they get together, can have so much boundless energy. Today, the two of them even planned to go hiking. Unfortunately, I have things to do today. I can't go hiking with the two beauties. Some procedures should have been completed today. I have to go over and check. Besides, Jiang Tiao Qiao has some things she wants to talk to Xia Xiao about privately. If I really went along, I am afraid Jiang Tiao Qiao would find it hard to speak. My sister and I have lived together for so many years. How could I not notice that something was unusual about Jiang Tiao Qiao today? After leaving, I immediately sent a message to Xia Xiao. I am entrusting my silly sister to you. Sorry to trouble you. Early in the morning, the person I went to meet was none other than Hui Zi. Hui Zi was holding a thick stack of contract documents. To be able to complete so many procedures in such a short time, although the Angia company gave the green light, it was mostly due to Hui Zi's excellent personal abilities. It could be said that if it were someone else, no matter how outstanding their professional abilities were, they probably would have had to wait another 2 or 3 days. I also didn't expect Hui Zi's efficiency to be so fast. When I saw the documents in Hui Zi's hands, I nodded with great satisfaction. Your efficiency is not bad. This shop should now belong completely to me, right? When Hui Zi heard my question, she nodded quickly. Yes, Brother Jiang. All the procedures have now been handed over, including all related taxes and fees. They have all been taken care of. Hui Zi is truly capable, not at all like an inexperienced young person. The related procedural costs were even lower than I imagined. I was very satisfied as I put away the related contracts and documents. However, as I turned to leave, Hui Zi hesitated for a moment, then still chased after me with her bag. Excuse me, Brother Jiang. I know our relationship should probably end here, but I've thought about it, and I really must thank you. Brother Jiang, it's lunchtime now. My treat. I hope Brother Jiang can give me some face. Hui Zi walked beside me with her bag. She poured out the invitation in her heart. If I didn't agree, Hui Zi would feel in her heart that she owed me a favor. I was stunned for a moment, then turned my head to look at Hui Zi. Considering your efficient work, I accept your invitation. I stopped walking. I smiled at Hui Zi and nodded in agreement. A smile immediately blossomed on Hui Zi's face. There's a pretty good Western restaurant nearby. Would that be okay, Brother Jiang? It was very clear that Hui Zi's invitation to lunch was premeditated. I wasn't particularly interested in what to eat. Anything is fine with me. The Western restaurant Hui Zi chose was a bit beyond my expectations. The atmosphere was quite elegant, and the food tasted all right. Hui Zi even ordered a bottle of red wine. Brother Jiang, a toast to you. I am truly grateful for your trust in me, entrusting this deal to me. Halfway through the meal, Huizi was already a bit tipsy. She raised her glass to toast me. She downed it in one go. After drinking for a while, for some reason, the corners of her eyes turned red. Brother Jiang, you must still be in university now, right? Society is really too complicated these days. I could tell Huizi was drunk, but I didn't interrupt Huizi's venting. Actually, Huizi wasn't bad looking. When the corners of her eyes turned red, she had a pitiful look. But I am not someone who is swayed by beauty. It's just that for a moment, I really did feel a bit of compassion. It's not that I didn't know about the troubles between Lu Na and Huizi, the story of a newcomer being bullied by a veteran. It's not that I don't know about it. I've quit. But before I quit, I reported those two despicable people. I've lost my job, but they shouldn't even think about having one. I don't know what Huizi was thinking, but a gloating smile appeared on her face. Earlier, when Huizi took the large order back to the Ngia company to do the paperwork, she directly pressured the person in charge at the head office to thoroughly investigate the matter of abusing power for personal gain. For so many years, the store manager had done all sorts of evil things. A cursory investigation was enough to reveal the store manager's corruption. Huizi couldn't be bothered to say how big the final commotion was. Anyway, when those two people dejectedly got kicked out of the store, Huizi sat in the store watching them, extremely satisfied. So, this meal is to thank you, Brother Jiang. If it weren't for this order from you. Speaking of this, Huizi choked up. I would definitely be like countless other people, only able to leave sadly, suppressing this anger in my heart with no way to release it. What are you planning to do next? Have you thought about it, or made any plans? I took a sip of wine, looking at Huizi across from me, who was crying her eyes out. I asked without realizing when. Huizi blinked. Her eyes were filled with confusion. I don't know, but because of those hateful people, I feel about this real estate industry. I seem a little scared of it. Speaking the truth after drinking, the words Huizi spoke were all from her heart. I just quit my job. I still haven't figured out what to do next. Huizi shook her head and downed another glass of wine. I sat there thinking quietly for a moment, then spoke after a while. Since you've quit your job now, how about you help me with something? Although Huizi was drunk, she heard what I said. Still, she shook her head, trying to focus her thoughts. Me? What can I do to help you, Brother Jiang? Huizi blinked, looking at me. I took out a document and placed it on the table. I'll tell you when you sober up. I was just about to tell Huizi what she needed to do when I realized this girl couldn't hold it. Her alcohol tolerance had her passed out on the table. Huizi has been under a lot of pressure lately. Today's drinking session seemed to have released it all. The things pent up in her heart for so long. I shrugged helplessly. Just having a meal and I still get into trouble. Luckily, although Huizi was drunk, she at least knew where her home was. After taking her home, I also placed the document next to Huizi, and at this time, Jiang, Xiao Xiao, and Xia Si Yao had also climbed halfway up the mountain. Xiangcheng has quite a few mountains. You could even say, this city of Xiangcheng is surrounded by mountains. Today, the two of them chose a low mountain that wasn't too difficult. Xiao Xiao. There's a pavilion up ahead. Let's go there and rest for a bit. The two of them went into the pavilion to rest, looking at the clouds in the distance, feeling the sunlight on them. Jiang Xiao unconsciously relaxed. Xia Si Yao had already seen the private message I sent to her when we split up. Originally, Xia Si Yao thought I was just giving her some instructions, telling her to take care of my sister. But now, seeing Jiang Xiao suddenly fall silent, Xia Si Yao realized in her heart something was off. Thinking back to when they went shopping yesterday, Jiang Xiao said today was for unwinding. Xia Si Yao sensitively realized Jiang Xiao had something on her mind. What's wrong? Xiao, you seem very unusual right now. Xia Si Yao asked with a gentle smile on her face. Jiang Xiao was pulled back to reality by Xia Si Yao's voice. Ah, even sister-in-law could tell. You're so observant. Jiang Xiao found a clean spot in the pavilion and sat down. The reflection of the sunlight made it so that Xia Si Yao couldn't clearly see Jiang Xiao's expression for a moment. Sister-in-law, what will you do in the future? Jiang Xiao didn't talk about herself. Instead, she asked Xia Si Yao. Xia Si Yao was stunned for a moment, sitting down next to Jiang Xiao. The corners of her mouth turned up. Actually, my future is quite predictable. Graduate from Jiangcheng University, get a job at a company, find someone to marry and have children with. At this point, Xia Si Yao suddenly shook her head. But that was before I met your brother. After meeting your brother, I no longer feel that my future life will be boring. As she said this, a smile appeared on Xia Si Yao's face that she herself didn't even notice. That's great. Actually, sometimes I am very envious of you. Sister-in-law, Jiang Xiao closed her eyes, feeling the sensation of the sunlight on her face. Actually, during this time, it's not that anything happened to me. It's just that I suddenly realized, me being so carefree every day seems quite boring. It's like a small boat, adrift at sea with no direction. At first, it might feel new and exciting, but after drifting for a long time, it feels very tiring. Xia Si Yao could also understand Jiang Xiao's sudden downturn. I know what you're worried about. Xia Si Yao stood up and pulled Jiang Xiao up. She looked at Jiang Xiao's somewhat confused eyes and said, "You're so silly. It's just that you haven't found something you're interested in." Jiang Xiao came to her senses and nodded. Xia Si Yao pulled her out of the pavilion from childhood until now. "Haven't you been interested in anything?" Xia Si Yao asked curiously. Jiang Xiao thought carefully and shook her head helplessly. "I like the things that ordinary girls like. For example, clothes, jewelry. Actually, sometimes I feel I am just an ordinary girl, nothing special." The two girls helped each other and continued to the summit. "Have you never thought about what you would do for a job in the future?" Xia Si Yao asked again. Jiang Xiao shook her head. "I can't think of what job I'll do in the future. It's very uncertain. Sometimes I feel interested in everything. Other times, I feel I am not interested in anything. Let's just drop it. Let's not talk about these depressing things today. Sister-in-law, let's just climb the mountain. Let's see who reaches the summit first today. The loser buys dinner." Jiang Xiao forced herself to cheer up. Xia Si Yao was stunned for a moment. She shook her head. It seemed this silly girl Jiang Xiao today also just wanted to talk to her for a bit. But matters concerning one's future in life are best decided after thinking them through oneself. The higher you climb the mountain, the more energy it takes. By the time the two girls struggled to the summit, they were already too tired to speak. "I didn't expect mountain climbing to be this tiring. It seems I'll have to train my physical fitness well when I get back." Xia Si Yao, regarding her current physical condition, was a little dissatisfied. Jiang Xiao, next to her, having grown up in Xiangcheng after all, recovered faster than Xia Si Yao. "Sister-in-law, standing on the mountaintop. It feels like we're a little closer to the clouds." Xia Si Yao also gradually recovered. She looked at Jiang Xiao beside her and said, "Actually, I think there are some things you can discuss with your brother. You two grew up together since you were little. You're the closest." Xiao, maybe you don't know, when you came out with me today, your brother had already noticed something was wrong with you. He even texted me to pay more attention and talk to you. Hearing Xia Si Yao say this, Jiang Xiao immediately jumped up. "What? My brother? That dense guy? Could tell. Ah, so did he laugh at me behind my back for being overly sentimental?" Xia Si Yao smiled, looking at Jiang Xiao, who had regained her liveliness. All right. That's your brother. I am actually very envious of you two siblings. Your relationship is very good." Xia Si Yao's gentle voice comforted Jiang Xiao. Jiang Xiao and Xia Si Yao took the cable car down the mountain. She really thought about it seriously, whether she should go talk to her brother. As a result, as soon as she got off the cable car, she saw me standing there smiling. "Brother, are you done with your work?" Jiang Xiao looked at me curiously. I smiled and nodded. "Work's done. I came to pick you two up for dinner. Remember at the last class reunion, you two came to pick me up. I introduced Wei Tianyu to you two, right? That kid is treating us to dinner tonight." The two girls were starving at this point. Hearing they were going to eat, they immediately nodded in agreement. It's just that Xia Si Yao was a little shy. After all, I told her she would be meeting all of my closest friends from before, so Xia Si Yao even specially touched up her makeup before getting in the car. After all, if she dressed nicely, it would make me look good too. Jiang Xiao was carefree and didn't pay much attention. This little girl now only had food on her mind. Wei Tianyu had already called a few people, friends who were quite close to me in high school. Everyone was already waiting in the restaurant. I heard this kid, Jiang, has made it big, as expected of an outstanding student from Jiangcheng University. How long has it been? He already knows how to invest. His love life has also blossomed. The guys were talking while waiting. Wei Tianyu looked proud by association. When others praised me, he would nod, as if they were praising him. Old Wei, I heard at your class reunion, you already met Jiang Chen's girlfriend?" A few guys gathered around, asking with gossipy faces. Wei Tianyu looked at their expressions and wanted to tease them a bit. "Of course, I've met her. Old Jiang's taste isn't bad at all," Wei Tianyu said with a mysterious expression. "Hurry up and tell us. What does she look like?" A boy next to him crowded closer. "Old Jiang will bring her here later. Words can't do her justice. Anyway, when I saw her, I just felt that old Jiang really lucked out. She's goddess level." Wei Tianyu clicked his tongue. Just as everyone was discussing it, I arrived, following the location Wei Tianyu sent. "Old Wei, Old Chen, you're all here." I smiled and greeted them as I entered. Xia Si Yao, who was behind me, also smiled and greeted them graciously. This person, Wei Tianyu. Xia Si Yao had met him before, but Xia Si Yao also saw a few unfamiliar faces in the room. I put my arm around Xia Si Yao and smilingly introduced her to the people in the room. "Xia Si Yao, my girlfriend." This kid Wei Tianyu was the quickest. He immediately opened his mouth and called her sister-in-law. The others were struck by Xia Si Yao's appearance and stunned on the spot. Those who hadn't recovered yet also followed. Wei Tianyu's lead and called out, when I pushed the door open. Everyone's eyes were on Xie Xiao. Logically speaking, after everyone went to university, it's not like they'd never seen a beautiful girl, but a stunning beauty like Xie Xiao, who you just see once and can never forget, is truly rare. This beauty, with both looks and charisma, left the entire room dumbfounded. Jiang Xiao, who was beside me, back in high school, had tagged along with me quite a few times. Jiang Xiao also knew a few people in the room. Yo, every single one of you looks stunned. It seems you've all been amazed by my sister-in-law. Jiang Xiao joked as she pulled Xia Xiao to find a seat. Only then did the others come to their senses. Well done, old Jiang. Now I finally believe what old Wei said. You really did luck out. A guy next to me shouted and slapped my shoulder. The sour tone in his words had already spread. Looking at the envious gazes of the others, I smiled. All right. If you're envious in the future, you guys can find your own at university. Wei Tianyu, who was behind me, heard this and said through gritted teeth, if a beauty like sister-in-law could be found so easily, who would still be envious of you? Old Jiang. I, of course, accepted all this envy. All right, aren't we here for dinner today? Let's order. Wei Tianyu handed me the menu. Old Jiang. Ask sister-in-law what she wants to eat. Well, order more. Xia Xiao quickly said, anything is fine with me. No need to trouble yourselves. These guys who could hang out with me in high school all had decent character. But because they saw me with a beautiful woman, each of them felt a bit of injustice in their hearts. Wei Tianyu took the lead and started telling my embarrassing stories from high school. Xia Xiao's eyes widened as she listened. I helplessly glared at Wei Tianyu and the others. You guys are about to expose my entire life story. Wei Tianyu and the others laughed heartily. We're just letting sister-in-law understand you completely. From all angles. I shook my head helplessly, seeing Jiang Xiao focused on eating beside me. It seems my sister is still better. She came here to properly eat. Jiang Xiao swallowed the food in her mouth. Actually, all your embarrassing stories at home, I've already told them all long ago. Xia Xiao, who was next to her, heard Jiang Xiao's words and covered her mouth to stifle a laugh. You guys are truly my good brothers and good sister. I shrugged. Although Wei Tianyu and the others really wanted to talk more with me, they also knew they couldn't stay too late. After all, there were girls present. So, they basically dispersed around 8 or 9 p.m. After everyone had left, Wei Tianyu still hadn't gone. Wei Tianyu stopped me and shoved a card directly into my hand. Old Jiang, this is all the private money your brother has. I am giving you my entire fortune. Wei Tianyu said with a smile. The bank card's password is my birthday. You can just take it and practice with it. I didn't stand on ceremony with Wei Tianyu and took the card. Then I won't be polite. He'll take your money and practice with it. He'll try to make you lose a little less. I joked with Wei Tianyu. Unexpectedly, Wei Tianyu thought I was serious and said with a pained expression, it's okay. Just leave me half of it. That's fine. In the future, when you become a big shot in the financial world, don't forget me, the one who let you practice. I was so amused by Wei Tianyu I couldn't help but laugh. I punched Wei Tianyu on the shoulder. Don't worry. This investment of mine will definitely only profit, not lose. Wei Tianyu didn't believe that there was any investment that was guaranteed to only profit and not lose. He just thought I was being proud. So, he nodded perfunctorily. Xia Xiao sat in my car, looking at the fast-asleep Jiang Xiao next to her. She said, about what's on your sister's mind. I think you should still talk to her. I looked at Jiang Xiao sleeping soundly in the back seat. Did she say anything to you? I pulled the car over to the side of the road. Xia Xiao briefly recounted Jiang Xiao's confusion during today's mountain climb for me. I've been neglecting Xiao a bit lately. Find a chance to talk to her. After listening, I was silent for a moment before speaking. Xia Xiao nodded and said no more. After all, this was Jiang Xiao's business. Xia Xiao could only offer some advice. After dropping Xia Xiao off, I drove back to the downstairs of my building. Jiang Xiao yawned in the car and said, are we home? I nodded. On the way home, I kept thinking about finding an opportunity to talk to my sister. As it turned out, when we got near a small pavilion in the complex, Jiang Xiao called out to me first. Brother, let's go sit in the pavilion for a bit. I was a little surprised, then nodded. As soon as we sat down in the small pavilion, Jiang Xiao looked at her brother with a rarely seen serious expression. Brother, what do you think I can do in the future? I feel like I am busy with useless things every day. It's really boring. How about I become your secretary in the future? That would be a way to realize my life's value. Jiang Xiao said seriously. I looked at my sister helplessly and smiled. Of course, that's fine. My sister wants to be my assistant. I couldn't be happier. I noticed that when I agreed to let Jiang Xiao be my assistant, Jiang Xiao's expression didn't get much happier. So I thought for a moment and said, but, Xiao, I hope you can do something you truly like. Of course, if you can't find something you like, coming to help me out, I'd be very happy too. Jiang Xiao sighed, resting her chin on her hand dejectedly. But brother, I have no idea what I like right now. The things I like. Other people like too. I don't know what I can do in the future. Right now, it seems. I just have fun with my sister-in-law every day, living very happily. But it's so boring without a goal. I smiled. My silly sister. Actually, you can totally pursue any life you want. I am your brother, your strongest support. To put it another way, even if you don't accomplish anything in the future, you can still come help me organize documents and such. My voice was gentle, even like when we were little. I patted Jiang Xiao's head. You messed up my hairstyle, Jiang Xiao said while holding her head. But under her brother's encouraging tone, her eyes also welled up a little. I saw that Jiang Xiao's expression had softened a lot. So, is there nothing you're interested in? I asked, looking at the bright moon in the night sky. Jiang Xiao felt that she wasn't completely uninterested in anything. After all, being a girl, Xiao was very interested in things that girls like. Actually, I like small jewelry pieces. I also like to put on makeup to look beautiful. But isn't this something every girl does? I really can't figure out how such a normal hobby can bring any change to my future life. Jiang Xiao sighed dejectedly. Actually, I don't feel that my sister is an ordinary girl, with no talents and no interests. In my opinion, Jiang Xiao is just temporarily lost, and hasn't found an area she's good at to develop. Actually, Xiao, don't you feel that your fashion sense is much better than that of ordinary girls? I slowly guided her. There were some things I still hoped Xiao could discover on her own. That would be much better than me directly pointing the way for Jiang Xiao. Xiao would be clearer about her own future. Jiang Xiao blinked, carefully recalling the girls she sees on the street and the difference between herself. It seems that's true, brother. After you got a girlfriend, your eye for things has gotten better. You never told me I dressed well before, Jiang Xiao said with a laugh. After feeling my concern and encouragement, Jiang Xiao felt she was no longer so dejected. So in the future, could I maybe go and style other people? Or in the future, could I pursue a path as a makeup artist or a stylist? Jiang Xiao thought vaguely. If that were the case, it seems I could also leverage my strengths. It's just that Jiang Xiao towards such a future didn't feel it was that great. She just felt it was average. I shook my head. That kind of job is too ordinary. I understand Jiang Xiao, with a lively personality like Jiang Xiao is, if she were really confined to a store, helping others with styling, that interest would quickly be worn away. Instead of that, why not try a different format? Are you willing to show your styling skills to others? I asked with a smile. Jiang Xiao thought carefully, then nodded firmly. Then have you ever thought about being a streamer? Being a streamer who showcases makeup and styling skills, I said with a smile. But when Jiang Xiao heard the word streamer, she was a little stunned, and couldn't help but repeat. Streamer? That's right. You can use videos to showcase your strengths. Plus, you don't have to serve others. I smiled and voiced the idea I had been pondering for a long time. After hearing my words, Jiang Xiao was silent for a moment. After a moment of hesitation, Jiang Xiao spoke, as if asking herself, and also as if asking me, can I really become a streamer? I said without hesitation, of course you can. Looking at the somewhat dazed Jiang Xiao, I said encouragingly, my sister isn't bad looking, and she knows how to dress, and knows makeup. If you become a streamer, it'll definitely send you gifts. When the time comes, it'll gift you whatever is most expensive. I joked. Jiang Xiao couldn't help but laugh. It seems my brother treats me really well, willing to spend so much money. I'll think about it carefully during this time. Thank you for listening to me ramble on for so long tonight. I flicked her forehead, making Jiang Xiao yelp. All right, let's hurry home, or Mom and Dad will come looking for us. After speaking, I turned and went into the building. Jiang Xiao held her stinging forehead, called my name, and chased after me. As soon as the door opened, I quickly entered the house and locked out Jiang Xiao, who wanted to chase me for revenge. As a result, I just turned my head and saw He Yu holding a glass of milk, looking at me. Bullying your sister again? Let her in. You two should go to bed. He Yue looked helplessly at her two mischievous children. I just let Jiang Xiao in, and Jiang Xiao immediately wanted to get revenge on me. In the end, He Yu grabbed her by the collar and shut her in her room. Hurry up and drink your milk, then go to sleep. Don't mess around so late at night. A sibling battle thus dissipated into thin air. These two kids are already grown up but still bicker so loudly, He Yu said with a laugh. Jian Dong, who was next to her, folded the magazine in his hand. It means they have a good relationship. Just let them be. As Jiang Xiao lay in bed, she couldn't sleep for a long time. Her mind kept thinking about the streamer plan I had proposed. The more Jiang Xiao thought about it, the more she felt that the idea I proposed was really good. Anyway, I'll just try it first. If it doesn't work out, then so be it. Jiang Xiao suddenly sat up in bed. In the middle of the night, she was extremely excited about becoming a streamer. She placed many orders online. She even opened some software, made some tutorials, and took notes. For her streaming career, she had prepared quite a bit. I had no idea my sister was up in the middle of the night tinkering with this. The next morning, I had something very important to do. I waited until I arrived at the store I bought from Auntie Tang, and sure enough, I saw a familiar figure at the door. It was the drunk Hui Zi from yesterday. Actually, last night, Hui Zi had already sobered up. Hui Zi remembered very clearly that I seemed to have given her a task. It's just that she couldn't figure out what that task was. I smiled and said, I am short-staffed recently, so I want to ask you to help me with something. Use this store to help me apply for a loan at the bank. My credit is very good, and my repayment ability is also very strong. Just apply for the highest possible limit for me. After I finished speaking, Huizi was stunned for a moment. A loan, Brother Jiang, you want to mortgage this store? Huizi was a bit doubtful, not knowing why I would do that. I glanced at Huizi. Don't worry, I don't have any other debts. I just need capital on hand. If you feel this is inconvenient, you don't have to bother with it. As soon as I said that, Huizi hurriedly promised, I can do this. Don't worry, Brother Jiang. In her heart, Huizi was still very grateful to me. Now that she could do something for me, Huizi was more than willing. I nodded slightly. When the time comes, if any documents are missing, come find me. I hope you can use the fastest speed possible to secure the loan. Huizi took the things and nodded. Don't worry. Brother Jiang, I'll do my best. After parting with me, Huizi didn't waste any time either. She directly took these documents and started heading to the bank, while Huizi was busy arranging various procedures and supporting documents. The bank manager wasn't idle either. The approval for such a large application naturally had to be submitted to higher-ups. After all, the superior's approval would take some time. Huizi had to go to the real estate center to get some certificates of ownership transfer. While waiting for the stamp, she unexpectedly spotted a familiar figure. It was none other than the store's previous owner, Auntie Tang. Auntie Tang seemed to also be waiting for the staff to process paperwork. While Huizi was hesitating whether to go up and greet her, Auntie Tang had already turned and seen Huizi. Miss Huizi, what a coincidence. Are you here for paperwork too? Auntie Tang said with a smile. Huizi walked over and sat next to Auntie Tang. Yes. There are some procedures that need to be stamped here. It seems Miss Huizi's abilities are not bad. You've closed another new deal. Because they were at the property center, Auntie Tang assumed that Huizi was once again handling related procedures for another house. But unexpectedly, Huizi was stunned for a moment, then smiled and shook her head. Auntie, I've already quit my old company. I am no longer working in real estate. Auntie Tang was stunned, not expecting that Huizi had quit. Oh, I see. So you're handling procedures for yourself, Auntie Tang said, with a smile. As a result, she had just lowered her head and saw a familiar name. Isn't this the property I sold to Brother Jiang? Could it be that there are still procedures that haven't been completed? Auntie Tang was a bit suspicious. Normally, she had already completed the relevant procedures. How could Huizi still be holding these documents and coming here to do procedures again? Huizi also noticed Auntie Tang's confusion. She hesitated for a moment, then explained to Auntie Tang, it's not the previous procedures. It's that Brother Jiang intends to use this store to get a loan. Hearing Huizi's explanation, Auntie Tang was stunned for a moment. A loan? Didn't he say before that he would use this store for business? But Auntie Tang was, after all, a woman with a keen eye, and quickly thought of a possibility. Could it be that Brother Jiang intends to use this money for investment? Auntie Tang had seen too many such examples, using property as collateral to get money from the bank for investment. It's not like I am the only one who does this kind of operation. Even in a certain aspect, this method can also minimize risks. Huizi didn't expect Di Tang to be so sharp. She guessed my purpose right away. Huizi only found out later while gathering the documents that I was using it for investment. Yes, that's right. Mr. Jiang has an investment company he started with friends. The rate of return is quite good, so Mr. Jiang decided to invest another sum. Hearing this, Di Tang finally understood. So, Mr. Jiang has an investment company. Anyway, the process of waiting in line and doing the paperwork was quite boring, so Di Tang started chatting with Huizi. Besides, Di Tang has also been busy lately. She's been busy with investment-related matters, so when she heard I was also preparing to mortgage a property to invest, she immediately became interested. I wonder what field Mr. Jiang invests in. Di Tang was actually asking in a probing manner. Although Huizi wasn't my employee, she was still very professional. Just smiling evasively. She didn't reveal anything. It's just a few things on the stock market. I can only say the returns are quite good. Di Tang also knew Huizi was tight-lipped, and she wouldn't get anything out of her. So she seamlessly changed the subject. If the other person doesn't want to talk, why bother asking? Huizi and Di Tang had only exchanged a few sentences when the paperwork was done. Di Tang, I am in a bit of a hurry now. Let's talk again next time when we have a chance. After finishing the paperwork, Huizi didn't want to waste any time. After exchanging a few pleasantries with Di Tang, she left immediately. In just 2 short days, Huizi had handled all the related procedures. Now, all that was left was to wait for the approval. I just had to personally fill out a form and it would be done. I once again saw Huizi's excellent workability. Huizi works in a very organized manner. She can use the fastest speed and the highest efficiency to complete her tasks. This made me very satisfied with Hui's abilities. This must have been hard for you. You did a great job, looking at the contract registered with the highest loan ratio in my hand, I said with satisfaction. Huizi smiled. This is also thanks to you, Mr. Jiang, for giving me this opportunity. Huizi was of course referring to the big house deal from before. I nodded. I put away the contract in my hand. Have you found a job yet? Hearing my question, Huizi was a bit confused, but she still answered truthfully. I haven't found a related job yet for the time being. I nodded, looking directly into Huizi's eyes as I made an offer. Right now, I am in need of an assistant. I wonder if you're interested. As for compensation, it'll follow the standard market rate. When I said that, Huizi's eyes widened in surprise. Huizi didn't expect that I would be willing to offer her a job. For a moment, Huizi was a bit lost. She didn't know what ability of hers I had taken a liking to, that I was willing to extend a helping hand. You see, because she quit suddenly. Even though Huizi had closed such a big deal, she didn't receive much commission in the end, plus some other miscellaneous deductions. Huizi was so broke that she couldn't even scrape together next month's rent. And during this time, Huizi had also tried looking for other jobs. I can only say her luck wasn't good. Huizi's job search could be described as hitting a wall everywhere she went. Otherwise, Huizi wouldn't have had so much time to prepare the documents and paperwork for me. Receiving my offer at this moment was like receiving charcoal in a snowstorm for Huizi, so I hadn't even finished 2 sentences before Huizi quickly nodded in agreement. Mr. Jiang, do you really trust me? Because I've never had experience as an assistant before. Huizi was a bit dazed by the sudden opportunity. She was genuinely a little worried that she wouldn't be able to handle this job, especially since Huizi was very clear about my financial situation, being next to a boss of such considerable worth. As a secretary and assistant, Huizi was now just worried that she might not have the professional skills I required. I smiled. The task I gave you before, you also completed it smoothly. Don't worry, I am not the type of person who hires just anyone. If you didn't have any ability, I could spend the same amount of money and find someone more capable. What I said might sound a bit harsh, but it's the reality. That's just how this world is. And hearing me say that, Huizi also gradually calmed down. Huizi felt filled with hope for the future again. She was full of enthusiasm. Don't worry, I will definitely follow your requirements and standards to become a qualified assistant secretary. Huizi looked at me with bright, shining eyes. If, in the future, most of my time is spent in Jiangcheng, could you accept this change? I thought for a moment. I deliberately said this in advance. Huizi nodded without hesitation. Mr. Jiang, rest assured, I don't have any major requirements regarding the workplace. I nodded with satisfaction. I'll be going back to Jiangcheng in a day or two. Pack your things these next 2 days. Then come to Jiangcheng and report for duty. After I finished giving instructions on everything, I was about to leave. However, Huizi thought for a moment and still called me back. Excuse me, Mr. Jiang, there's one more thing. I looked at Huizi. I saw Huizi open a chat window on her phone. It's like this. Because when I was handling the paperwork earlier, I ran into the former owner of the shop, Dai Tang. Dai Tang knew I was handling the procedures related to the loan information, and then she found out that you, Mr. Jiang, have an investment company. So recently, it seems she's been beating around the bush, asking me about the investment company. Before Huizi could finish her sentence, I already understood Di Tang's intention. I also remembered what Di Tang had said before about wanting to invest herself. It's fine. If she asks for some related information, like data and rates of return, you can just tell Di Tang the truth. You're about to become my assistant secretary. There are some things I have to tell you. Currently, the investment company is still in its early stages. It needs a large influx of capital. For my investment company, Dai Tang is also considered a potential client. Some things don't need to be said too, explicitly. Huizi understood clearly. This could also be considered an unintentional gain. Moreover, Di Tang came to ask on her own initiative. Mr. Jiang, rest assured, I know what to do. Huizi nodded and took back her phone. If the conversation goes deeper, a little, you can promise Dai Tang a 2% return. Rate of return, I said after thinking. Huizi was a bit surprised. 2% for half a year. I smiled. 2 months is enough. Although Huizi doesn't play the stock market. In college, Huizi did study some finance-related content, so she still had some understanding of these matters. A 2% rate of return is incredibly high. This investment return rate made even Huizi a little tempted. I'll talk to Dai Tang in detail, Huizi said, her heart surging with emotion. During this period, Dai Tang had been researching some very promising industries in the market. It's just a pity that times are different now. There were some industries that, when she looked at them, she felt completely clueless. In my opinion, why are you still worrying about these things? Just find a reliable person to help you manage your investments. And that's it. After Di Tang was busy for a while, she saw a message from a close friend of hers. Actually, the reason Di Tang sold a portion of her real estate to get investment money was largely because this close friend had made quite a bit of money from investing. This also made Dai Tang genuinely tempted. Closing the chat window with her close friend, Di Tang, for some reason, thought of Huizi, whom she had met at the property ownership center before. At that time, Huizi had revealed information about my investment company, which made Dai Tang take notice. Huizi, is the deal in your hands finished? Let me treat you to a meal. Dai Tang's sudden message stunned Huizi, but she also felt this was a very good opportunity. After all, Huizi had originally intended to have Dai Tang put her capital into my investment company to be managed. The place Di Tang chose was a private club with very good security. After Huizi arrived, she was led straight by a waiter into a private room. During this time, Huizi had followed my request and reviewed some professional knowledge. At the same time, regarding the investment company in my hands, she had gained a deep understanding. So, when Di Tang vaguely probed about the investment company, Huizi smiled and said directly, Dai Tang, I am now working in Mr. Jiang's investment company. Dai Tang was a little surprised. So you've switched jobs. Ah, is your new job going well? Huizi nodded. It's fine. It's just that this investment company of Mr. Jiang's involves a very large amount of money. Sometimes I worry that I can't handle it. A very large amount of money. Dai Tang mused thoughtfully. This investment company of young Mr. Jiang's, does it also help others invest? Di Tang asked. Huizi was already prepared and nodded. Mr. Jiang's investment company has an incredibly large operating capital. The scale is also very large. Most importantly, as far as I know, some of the core employees in this company seem to have all been poached from another large company. After discreetly revealing some information about the investment company, Huizi smiled. She looked at Di Tang and spoke directly. I wonder if you have any investment plans recently? Dai Tang? Di Tang nodded. To be honest, the reason I asked you here today, Miss Huizi, was also because I wanted to privately learn a bit about this investment company. I have some money on hand and plan to find someone to invest it for me. Now that things were out in the open, Huizi nodded gently. She took out a file from her bag. If you have this intention, Dai Tang, why not directly consider Mr. Jiang's company? Not to mention other things. I think you can take a close look at this rate of return. The file that Huizi presented did not contain any core secrets of the investment company. Taking the file from Huizi's hand, Dai Tang began to flip through it. She didn't read quickly. In fact, it could be said she was very thorough. After all, one can't be careless when it comes to investment. Sometimes, any small piece of information that is off can be enough to cause the entire investment to fail. When she flipped to the back and saw the 2% rate of return, Dai Tang was a bit shocked and looked up at Huizi across from her. Are you sure this number wasn't typed incorrectly? It's no wonder Di Tang was surprised. This rate of return was truly too high. A rate of return like this is equivalent to telling you straight up that this is a high-risk investment. However, what surprised Di Tang was that this document stated the rate of return started at 2%. It even directly stated a guaranteed minimum of 2%. This also meant that such a rate of return, according to this investment company of mine, was completely achievable. Di Tang, this file of mine has been checked countless times. There can't be any numerical errors on it. Huizi looked at the surprise on Dai Tang's face. She explained with a smile. Di Tang, carefully, reviewed the other related documents. How about this? Huizi, could you please help me make an appointment with young Mr. Jiang? I want to talk to young Mr. Jiang about some other matters. Huizi was not surprised by this result. She believed that any investor would be interested in an investment with a guaranteed 2% rate of return. Rest assured, Dai Tang, I will help you make the appointment. How about this? I am not in a hurry for this file. You can take your time to look it over. Huizi very thoughtfully left the file behind. After Di Tang parted with Huizi, she immediately found some experts to analyze the data in the documents of this investment company of mine. Meanwhile, Huizi also relayed Di Tang's intentions to me. Then let's set a time. I'll be leaving Xiangcheng in a few days. Let's take this opportunity to settle this matter. Has the bank loan been approved yet? I called Huizi to ask. The relevant funds are expected to be transferred within 7 working days. Into your card, Mr. Jiang. There are no problems with the procedures. Huizi was still as capable as ever. Everything was progressing in an orderly manner. After setting the time, you could say I was very punctual. I appeared at this tea house. Di Tang always had the habit of arriving early. When she once again saw my familiar face appear, a smile blossomed on Dai Tang's face. Young Mr. Jiang. What a coincidence. We've met again so soon. Dai Tang said a few pleasantries. I smiled and nodded. It seems you and I are quite fated. Dai Tang. Dai Tang smiled and brewed a cup of tea. I heard that you'll be returning to Jiangcheng for school in a while. Young Mr. Jiang. I won't waste any more of your time then. This time, I asked Miss Huizi to arrange a meeting with you, precisely because I wanted to ask you a little about the investment company. I looked at Di Tang and accepted the teacup. What would you like to ask? Di Tang took out the file that Huizi had given her before. Her finger gently pointed to that number. Young Mr. Jiang, I heard that your investment company has a basic rate of return of 2%. I nodded. That's right. As long as the capital is placed in my investment company, 2% in 2 months is no problem. Of course, it has to be a large sum. Hearing this, Dai Tang looked into my eyes without saying anything. She seemed to be thinking about something. I am sorry, young Mr. Jiang. I was just thinking about some other things. Dai Tang suddenly came to her senses. She looked at me slowly, enjoying my tea, and spoke apologetically. Young Mr. Jiang, I actually have some capital I want to invest. I wonder if I place this money in your investment company. Before Dai Tang could finish speaking, I had already put my teacup down on the table. I held up 2 fingers. If you trust me, Dai Tang, and want to cooperate with me, then a 2% rate of return is the minimum I can offer you. My straightforwardness stunned Dai Tang. If that's the case, then I believe you, young Mr. Jiang. It was true that such a high rate of return made it impossible for Dai Tang not to be tempted. Nowadays, it's very rare in the market to have such a high rate of return. Even some long-established institutions wouldn't dare to give such a guaranteed number. My confident and assured demeanor also made Dai Tang unconsciously trust me. Rest assured, Dai Tang, we have cooperated once before. I smiled and looked up. I said, neither arrogant nor self-deprecating. This is the second time. I believe we will also have a very pleasant cooperation. I wonder, Dai Tang, how much you plan to invest? Actually, before coming, Dai Tang already had a rough figure in mind. Now, after finishing the deal with me, Dai Tang couldn't help but inwardly add a little more to that figure. 30 million. It'll give you 30 million in capital. I hope you, young Mr. Jiang, can, as promised, maintain such a rate of return. For Dai Tang to invest 30 million in me was actually an intention to test the waters. After all, the investment capital that Dai Tang had at her disposal was far more than this 30 million, but this was the first time she was cooperating with me. Dai Tang didn't know much about me before, so putting out 30 million to test the waters was a probing move from Dai Tang. When I heard the number Dai Tang proposed, I could pretty much understand what Dai Tang was thinking. After all, an investment so large that Dai Tang would sell her properties for it could absolutely not be just this 30 million. So I just nodded. All right. Regarding the specific contract for this 30 million investment, I will have Huizi bring someone to discuss it with you. Dai Tang nodded. After discussing business, Dai Tang was much more relaxed, and somehow the conversation turned to Dai Tang's son. Speaking of which, I really admire you, young Mr. Jiang. Dai Tang looked at me with a smile. To be honest, that good-for-nothing son of mine is not like you, young Mr. Jiang. With your adventurous and ambitious spirit, he just likes stability. Speaking of this, Dai Tang's face showed a look of disappointment, as if hating iron for not becoming steel. But it was clear that Dai Tang was a person with a very adventurous spirit. I looked at Dai Tang and said jokingly. Dai Tang nodded. I am indeed that kind of person. In short, I can't sit still. My son is too quiet. Actually, your ages aren't that far apart. He also just got married this year. When there's a chance, I'll introduce you two. I just hope that after you two become friends, it might make my son a little more proactive. Speaking of this, Dai Tang looked at me with a smile, as if asking for my opinion. I naturally had no objections. After all, no matter how you look at it, Dai Tang is someone with billions in assets. No matter how good for nothing her son was, he was a bona fide second-generation rich kid. Sometimes, money isn't everything. Connections are what's important. I understood this principle deeply. After finishing the meal with Dai Tang, I drove home. Actually, there were only 2 days left of the holiday now. I estimated that by the time Dai Tang's money arrived in the account, I would have already returned to Jiangcheng. Just thinking that after returning to Jiangcheng, the capital in my hands would be almost ready. My heart surged with excitement. After all, the prediction card for stock market trends in my hand had not yet been used. I planned to use this trend prediction card for the stock market to build a solid foundation for the investment company. As for me now, I still had to do my best to raise a large amount of capital. The more money, the better. Half an hour later, I arrived home. I saw Jiang Jiandong holding a newspaper, standing helplessly at the entrance. Dad, why aren't you in the living room? What are you doing standing here? I walked over, a bit puzzled. Jiang Jiandong looked helpless. He tossed the newspaper onto the shoe cabinet. What kind of love potion did you give your sister? She's been cooped up in her room all day, not coming out. I raised an eyebrow. As I walked to the door of my sister Jiang Xiaoxiao's room, I heard a lively piece of music. A huge wave of sound came from behind the door. No wonder Jiang Jiandong had to stand near the door to read the newspaper. It really was a bit noisy. I didn't stand on ceremony. During a break between songs, I knocked on Jiang Xiaoxiao's door. It was also my luck that Jiang Xiaoxiao actually heard the knock. Not long after, the loud music in the room stopped. Then Jiang Xiaoxiao opened the door. As soon as she saw me, a smile appeared on Jiang Xiaoxiao's face. Bro, you're back early today. I pointed out the window. It's already completely dark. It's not early anymore. It's already 7 or 8 p.m. Oh, it's that late already? No wonder I am hungry. Jiang Xiaoxiao rubbed her little belly. She turned to go to the kitchen to find food. I immediately grabbed Jiang Xiao by the hair. Wait a moment before you eat. What were you doing locked in your room all day and playing such loud music? Jiang Xiao blinked. She looked at me with an innocent expression and said, "Didn't you encourage me to start live streaming? I was just experimenting today." Before I could even ask, Zhang Jiandong, who was nearby, vaguely understood. "You rascal. Why did you tell your sister to go into live streaming? What's a young girl like her doing being a streamer?" Jiang Jiandong walked over, shot me a glare, and said. I spread my hands helplessly. "Dad, didn't I just think that Xiao should definitely do what she likes? That girl loves to dress up and do makeup. It's good for her to share a bit as a streamer." Jiang Jiandong hesitated for a moment, then took the newspaper and went into the kitchen. "Go wash your hands and get ready for dinner. Wasting the whole day on nonsense." The familiar nagging voice sounded again. My sister Jiang Xiao and I looked at each other and smiled. After dinner, Jiang Xiao was full of energy. She said, "Tomorrow I am going to find my sister-in-law. Tomorrow I need to ask for help for my sister-in-law to do a real live stream." After I told Xia Sidao about Jiang Xiao's plan, Xia Sidao said, a little helplessly, "But I don't have any live streaming experience either. I am not sure what to do then either." I chuckled lightly. "Don't worry. That silly girl has already researched quite a bit of content these past 2 days. She's just a little nervous. That's why she wants to do it with you." At this moment, the Jiang Xiao I described as a little nervous was staying up all night adjusting the related equipment. Yeah, the live stream is tomorrow. I am so nervous. I have to go find my sister-in-law tomorrow morning. After all, I can't start this alone. If no one watches tomorrow, wouldn't that be so embarrassing? Jiang Xiao muttered to herself as she paced back and forth in the room, nervously adjusting the related equipment for a completely new field that she had never experienced before. At first, Jiang Xiao felt really excited, but she was also worried no one would watch. In such an anxious state, Jiang Xiao finally drifted off to sleep. Xia Sidao had talked with me very late last night, while she was still asleep. She suddenly felt someone patting her. She woke up with a start. As soon as she turned her head, she saw Jiang Xiao with panda eyes. Xiao, why are you here so early?" Xia Sidao rubbed her eyes and sat up. As soon as she sat up, she saw that the room was already filled with professional equipment. "Sister-in-law, it's already 8 a.m. You're not up yet. You must have been on the phone with my brother last night," Jiang Xiao said while adjusting the camera in her hand, not forgetting to tease Xia Sidao. Xia Sidao's ears turned a little red. She smiled and lightly patted Jiang Xiao. "If you say one more word, I won't let you live stream in the hotel anymore." Jiang Xiao repeatedly begged for mercy. "The equipment is ready, so I'm starting now." Jiang Xiao rubbed her small cheeks. She sat down in the chair in front of the camera and started her first live stream. At the same time, Xia Sidao had also already entered the live stream room through the link on her phone. At first, there really weren't many people. For a long time, only Xia Sidao was watching. But Jiang Xiao wasn't as disappointed as one might imagine. On the contrary, because there weren't too many people watching, she gradually relaxed. After relaxing, Jiang Xiao's demeanor became much more natural. Xia Sidao noticed that the number of people in the live stream room suddenly increased. Although it wasn't a lot, only a few hundred people, but compared to the initial, meager 7 or 8 people, it was a huge increase. Xia Sidao immediately thought of me and sent me a message. "Are you also watching Xiao's live stream?" Very quickly, my message was sent back. Of course. It's my sister's career. Of course, I have to support her. I just signed up for a membership card for Xiao's live stream room. That's why the viewer count increased a little. Just a few seconds after she finished reading my message, Xia Sidao saw in the live stream room. A huge comment suddenly scrolled by. "Mr. Jiang gifted X99 yachts." Immediately after, a series of animated yacht effects scrolled past. This time, Jiang Xiao saw it. Her eyes went wide. Xia Sidao couldn't help but laugh. It was clear this yacht was from none other than me. Jiang Xiao was also stunned by this scene. "Bro, you don't have to spend money like that even if you have it," Jiang Xiao muttered. Clearly, Jiang Xiao also knew this was definitely her brother supporting her. And not long after the yacht effect ended, a golden comment scrolled past. "Congratulations to Mr. Jiang from the beauty section for climbing the donation leaderboard, top position." A comment like this didn't just appear in Jiang Xiao's live stream room. Basically, when there's a large donation, and the moment it hits the top of the leaderboard, it would be broadcast across the entire section of the live stream platform. This time, it made other people take notice of this Mr. Jiang. And some people, out of curiosity, clicked on this message and easily found Jiang Xiao's live stream room, Xiao Garden. This was a name Jiang Xiao casually gave to her live stream room. And right now, this live stream room had attracted the attention of many people. After all, on this platform, such a generous donation was very rare. Moreover, to climb to such a position with just one donation was truly shocking to people. On the platform, one yacht costs 9,000 999. I gifted 99 of them. This was equivalent to me donating nearly 1 million yuan in an instant. Such generosity was more than just uncommon. In just a few short minutes, the number of viewers in this live stream room had surpassed several tens of thousands, and the number of viewers was still continuously increasing. Jiang Xiaoxiao was also stunned by this change. She stared blankly at the live stream camera. Xia Xidao, who was next to her, saw that Xiao was distracted. She quickly waved her hand behind the camera. Xiao finally snapped out of it thanks to Xie Sidao's wave. Oh my god, this number of viewers is so scary. When Xiao reacted, this was the first thing she blurted out. The streamer is kinda cute. The streamer's makeup is so exquisite. Love it. I didn't expect such an adorable streamer. I am already captivated by her. So, that tycoon from before must have been captivated by such a cute girl, right? Jiang Xiao leaned her face close to the camera. She carefully read the comments on the screen. These comments were scrolling by very fast. At this moment, in the comment section, it seemed like people were gradually starting to react. They were all asking about the relationship between the tycoon who donated earlier and this streamer. You're asking what my relationship is with that person from earlier? Jiang Xiao wasn't quite used to it yet, to suddenly having so many viewers. So for a moment, she didn't know what she should do. She was like an elementary school student, carefully answering the questions. This serious and innocent appearance made Jiang Xiao unintentionally attract a group of fans. At this time, I, the one everyone was curious about, was also watching the live stream room, but I was busy with something else. Just now, when I donated 99 yachts to support my sister, the familiar system notification sound suddenly rang out. Host has been detected, completing the mission, splurging millions on a live stream. Now beginning to issue the reward, rewarding host with a live stream donation rebate gift pack. Use now? I familiarly chose to use it. I watched as the system opened the live stream donation rebate gift pack. Host has used the rebate gift pack, received 1.5 million in cash back. I raised an eyebrow. I just donated less than 1 million. The system directly gave me a rebate gift pack for donating on a live stream platform. After opening this gift pack, there was such a large reward. Doesn't this mean that not only did I not spend any money on the live stream gifts, but I also earned 500,000? I marveled once again. The Perfect Life system truly lives up to its name. I just casually gave some gifts while watching a live stream, and I even got a cash back. This is awesome. After receiving the system's reward, I looked down at the live stream platform and discovered that the number of viewers for the live stream of my sister had surpassed 500,000. This was Jiang Xiao's first time live streaming, and she already had such a large amount of traffic. At this moment, Jiang Xiao was also clarifying things in front of the live stream camera. Apparently, Xiao and Xie Sidao had also seen in the live stream comments some inappropriate speculation. Alright, since everyone has come to my live stream room, let's consider ourselves friends from now on. My live stream room's introduction also states that my main live stream content and direction is about makeup and styling. I don't think my skills are particularly great. I hope we can interact in the live stream room. As for the Mr. Jiang you're curious about, my surname is also Jiang, so it's not the kind of relationship you guys are guessing. He's my biological older brother. Today is actually my first time live streaming. My brother came to support my dream. Thank you all for coming as well. After a brief moment of confusion, Xiao quickly returned to her normal state. She looked at the screen, smiled, and answered everyone's controversies. Jiang Xiao. For the first time, I felt that my little sister had grown up. Jiang Xiao's polite and transparent response also maintained a good attitude. Instead of decreasing, the number of people in the live stream room actually increased. Xie Sidao and Jiang Xiao originally thought that after the explanation, the people who came out of curiosity would probably not stay in a newcomer's live stream room. To be honest, I quite like this girl. I think I should support this newcomer's live stream room. I am not like you hypocrites. I just want to see if that Mr. Jiang is still in this live stream room. After all, tycoons don't often make a move. If I can catch a live tycoon, they'll be thrilled. Looking at these interesting comments, the anxiety in Jiang Xiao's heart gradually eased. It seems like live streaming isn't as hard as I imagined. The commenters in the live stream room don't seem to be bad people. A faint smile appeared on Jiang Xiao's face, waving the makeup brush in her hand. She made a funny face at the camera. Bro, a tycoon like you is getting all the attention now. No? But please give fewer gifts. Your little sister wants to be self-reliant now. I saw Jiang Xiao's mischievous face through the screen. I smiled slightly. This silly girl is probably worried about my money. Once again, as she called for me to appear, I quietly gifted another 10 yachts, less than 100,000 yuan, because I had splurged 1 million earlier. My account was directly upgraded to the Noble VIP level. When I gave gifts, the frame was completely golden. There was even a series of super cool special effects, and when my gift appeared in the live stream room, the comments from all other users paused 3 times. This was a special treatment reserved only for the top of the donation leaderboard. This flashy way of donating attracted even more attention. Moreover, it could make everyone pay attention to the gifts I gave. Sure enough, after I finished gifting, I saw a series of 666 and Tycoon in the comments. At this moment, I received another system notification. Ding. Host has been detected, completing a gifting mission. Congratulations, host, on receiving a beginner donation rebate gift pack. Open? I naturally chose yes. This time, the reward in the gift pack was 150,000, another 50,000 earned. I felt like I had found a new way to rapidly increase my assets, but I did notice. The gifting mission could only be completed 3 times a week. In other words, I could only receive a maximum of 3 rebate gift packs a day. Based on these 2 rebates, the amount of money from the gift pack would basically be more than 50% extra. This was an extremely profitable reward method. I decided to enthusiastically support my sister, Jiang Xiao. From now on, the two of us would make money together. Jiang Xiao looked at the screen, at the series of glittering golden gifts. She sighed. Oh my god, my flashy brother. What Jiang Xiao didn't know was that it was precisely because Xiao's garden had the appearance of a tycoon that in just a short afternoon, it had attracted the attention of so many people, and Jiang Xiao also became the streamer with the fastest growing follower count of the day. Xiao, get back to your main topic. Xia Saito found a piece of paper and wrote these words on it. She held it up behind the camera. It was to remind the long-distracted Jiang Xiao. When Jiang Xiao saw the words, she slapped her forehead. That's right, my main livestream content is makeup and styling. Since everyone missed my makeup session, I'll do it again for everyone to see. Jiang Xiao was very bold. She directly took out a bottle of makeup remover in front of the camera. The girls watching the livestream were all astonished. You have to know that when they first entered this livestream room, these girls had clearly noticed that Jiang Xiao didn't seem to have any filters on. In other words, Jiang Xiao in front of the camera was her real appearance after putting on makeup. Now Jiang Xiao was directly demonstrating her makeup removal in front of hundreds of thousands of viewers. This made some of the female viewers extremely astonished. It also aroused everyone's curiosity. Actually, in terms of appearance, Jiang Xiao's looks weren't bad. You could even say she was very beautiful. This was also the confidence that made Jiang Xiao dare to remove her makeup in front of the camera. The streamer is so brave, showing her bare face directly. I think the streamer's foundation is very good. A little curious about her real appearance after removing makeup. Oh my god, what a treasure of a blogger I've discovered, quickly followed. Jiang Xiao, who was removing her makeup, of course, couldn't see the exclamation marks scrolling by in the comments, but Xia Saito, who was next to her, saw them. This little girl Xiao seems very suited for this path. She has a great connection with the audience. The casual viewer's impression of her is also very good. Mr. Jiang's vision is too accurate. Xia Saito couldn't help but admire me secretly once again. My vision is indeed very accurate. I could see right away that Jiang Xiao was suited for the path of a streamer. I went out today, mainly to get the title deed for the villa at Yunding Peak, and other documents in my possession. Then, I handed the related documents over to Huizi, so that Huizi could continue to mortgage this house for a loan. All were to be mortgaged at a 90% ratio. In my plan, at least within 1 or 2 weeks after the National Day holiday, I had to raise the large sum of money that the investment company needed. That way, I could quickly activate the stock market trend prediction card and make a huge profit. As for Huizi, to prove that my vision was not wrong, and also to try to make a good impression on her new boss, it could be said that she was extremely dedicated to handling the related procedures. Moreover, Huizi also had the investment contract with Aunt Tang, although she was very busy. Huizi felt a work atmosphere that was completely different from when she was at Njia. I was a very good leader. There wasn't a lot of shady business. Furthermore, I paid very generously. This made Huizi very satisfied. Moreover, the more she interacted with me, the more Huizi felt that I was a person with great personal charisma, a leader worth following. Huizi was now gradually moving towards the position of my assistant secretary. It probably wouldn't be long before Huizi adapted to this job. At that time, I would have some other tasks on hand that I could assign to Huizi. After Huizi and I parted ways, I drove straight to Xia Saito's hotel. At this time, Jiang Xiao's live stream had not ended yet. The audience in the live stream room, after seeing Jiang Xiao's bare face, actually caused Jiang Xiao's live stream room to erupt in a storm of gifts. Although, added up, they probably didn't match the gift I gave the second time, but their gifts definitely encouraged Jiang Xiao. Actually, these viewers were not blind. Under the camera without a deadly filter like that. After removing her makeup, Jiang Xiao still had delicate features and good skin condition. Her bare face alone was enough to attract a number of fans for her looks. So at that time, all the comments were praising Jiang Xiao's bare face. When Jiang Xiao saw these praises, she was still a bit unaccustomed and shy. Alright, since this is a sharing live stream room, I will now demonstrate for you the miraculous technique of makeup. Although this was Jiang Xiao's first live stream, she was very talented. In terms of communication and connection, she was a natural. The overall pace of the live stream was still very good. Moreover, because everyone knew that this was Jiang Xiao's first live stream, they were also very tolerant of Jiang Xiao's naivety. Therefore, the Xiao Xiao Garden livestream room had a rare, harmonious atmosphere on the entire livestream platform. When Shai Sidao opened the door for me, I happened to hear Jiang Xiao Xiao's voice. All right, thank you for your support. My sharing for today ends here. The time for the next livestream is not yet determined, but it'll be on when I have time. Goodbye. Everyone, I smiled and walked up behind Jiang Xiao Xiao. I looked at Jiang Xiao Xiao, who had finished her first livestream, and said with a laugh, "You ended just as I arrived. I came at just the right time." Jiang Xiao Xiao rubbed her slightly flushed face. She rushed over and hugged Xia Sidao directly. The two girls started hugging and cheering. Oh my god. Sister-in-law. I really didn't know so many people were watching. I am so excited right now. After Xiao Xiao and Xia Sidao finished cheering, she ran to my side, extremely excited. She patted my shoulder directly. Bro, you're too amazing. If you hadn't gifted me to the top of the leaderboard, how could I have gotten so many views? Jiang Xiao Xiao was so excited her face was flushed. I smiled as I looked at my sister's excited expression. Don't forget this is just a trial. You have to see if you really like it. Don't be blinded by the current excitement. I hope you choose to be a streamer out of passion, not because of these illusions of splendor. Hearing my words, Jiang Xiao Xiao gradually calmed down. Yes, brother. I will think about it seriously. Jiang Xiao Xiao's eyes showed a look of gratitude towards me. I am just that rational of a person. When everyone else is immersed in excitement, I can still maintain my rationality. Okay, bro, I am not talking to you anymore. I have to go check my data backstage. This really gives me a great sense of accomplishment. After saying this, Jiang Xiao Xiao rushed into the room with an excited expression and started fiddling with the computer. Xia Sidao smiled as she watched Jiang Xiao Xiao go into the room, then turned her head to look at me. There's not a trace of listlessness on Xiao Xiao anymore. Actually, I personally think she's still quite suited for this path. I chuckled. My own sister. I know her best. Actually, Jiang Xiaoxiao is indeed very good on this path. That's true. But this matters still. Depends on Xiao Xiao's wishes. But with her current excitement, I don't think she'll give up on this path. But Jiang Xiao Xiao, who was in the room, hadn't even finished looking at the data on the computer when she received a phone call. It was none other than the management center of the livestream platform that Jiang Xiao Xiao was using today. We hope MS Jiang can consider this carefully. We can negotiate further on the specific contract. The voice of the customer service representative on the other end of the line was very sweet and gentle. Jiang Xiao Xiao was hit by this pie that fell from the sky. She was stunned. After hanging up, she was a bit dazed as she ran out to the living room. Bro, sister-in-law, I am a little confused right now, Jiang Xiao Xiao said, looking at the two of us in the living room. I frowned at Jiang Xiao Xiao. I thought my silly sister hadn't escaped from the excitement of her first livestream. But the next second, Xiao Xiao took out her phone. Just now, a customer service representative from that livestream platform called me. They said they want to sign a contract with me. To sign me, according to the contract scale of a famous streamer, Xia Sidao said with some surprise. They've already made a move so quickly. But after she said that, Xia Sidao suddenly reacted. On just the first day of Jiang Xiao Xiao's livestream, she already had such huge traffic and viewership. She was clearly a streamer with great potential. Moreover, this was only the first day. Jiang Xiao Xiao had already gained the attention of hundreds of thousands of fans. Such an achievement was not something an ordinary streamer could achieve. Even some streamers who had been on the platform for many years couldn't achieve such results. If this live stream platform didn't have such foresight, it wouldn't have become the live stream platform with the most downloads and users today. Being on the side, I had some understanding of the streamer industry. I directly asked Jiang Xiao Xiao. Xiao Xiao. The contract they mentioned, what level is it? Jiang Xiao Xiao thought for a moment and said, they're willing to sign me at the level of a famous streamer with 1 million fans. Actually, the contract this live stream platform offered was already very generous. After all, for Jiang Xiao Xiao, although her viewership wasn't low now, but on this first day, the number of people following Jiang Xiao Xiao was only just over 200,000. Among them, a large portion were just casual followers. You could even say they came because of me, the tycoon. Actually, such data wasn't bad, but it was far from that of a famous streamer with 1 million fans. Signing a contract at the level of a famous streamer with 1 million fans was already a great show of sincerity from the platform. Jiang Xiao Xiao had looked into news in the live streaming circle before. When she learned about this contract, she also felt like a pie from the sky had hit her. After all, this was Jiang Xiao Xiao's first live stream. On the very first day, the platform already wanted to sign Jiang Xiao Xiao. I looked at my sister. So, do you want to sign? Jiang Xiao Xiao thought carefully for a moment. Actually, I think it's not bad. At that time, they will promote me according to the level of a streamer with 1 million fans. Actually, I find that I am still very interested in this industry. I think I am still quite suited to be a streamer. The more Jiang Xiao Xiao thought, the more determined she became. But at this moment, I threw cold water on her. You have to know, in the future, you won't get the same viewership and fan growth rate as you do now every day. Jiang Xiao Xiao nodded. Bro, I know what you're thinking. For now, it'll just treat this as a hobby to cultivate, so I don't have any major profit-seeking mentality about these things. I don't really mind. Of course, if people come to watch, it'll naturally be happy, but I can also accept the disparity. Looking at Jiang Xiaoxiao's determined eyes, I didn't show anything on the outside, but I nodded silently in my heart. The reason I threw cold water on her just now was to let Jiang Xiaoxiao calm down, so she wouldn't be dazed by the continuous good things happening before her and make impulsive choices. It seemed now that Jiang Xiaoxiao knew very well what she wanted. In that case, I was also relieved. Well, if you've decided, then sign the contract with the platform. I smiled faintly and nodded. It's just that when they spoke so tactfully on the phone, don't be foolish and not bargain. I suddenly turned and added a sentence. Jiang Xiaoxiao was stunned for a moment. Bargain for what? I stepped forward and tapped Jiang Xiaoxiao on the head. They're using a million fan-level streamers contract to sign you now, but you've just joined the platform and already set a new record. Naturally, you should fight for some better benefits. I stopped speaking after this point. Jiang Xiaoxiao had a sudden realization and nodded. Bro, you're so smart. I almost overlooked this just now. Axia Sidao, standing by, smiled and shook her head. All right. Xiaoxiao has been busy since morning and hasn't eaten. Aren't you too hungry? After Jiang Xiaoxiao reacted, she pulled Axia Sidao over. She said apologetically. Sister-in-law, because my brother has to leave tomorrow, I am afraid we can't have dinner with you tonight. Xia Sidao smiled and nodded. It was no surprise. Apparently, I had already told her about it. Xia Sidao naturally didn't mind about 1 or 2 meals. After all, she would be returning to Jiangcheng with me tomorrow. The two of them would have plenty of time together, because I had to fly back to Jiangcheng tomorrow. He Yue and Jiang Jiandong had prepared a whole table of food. They just hoped to have a reunion meal before their son left. Looking at their handsome son and their clever and mischievous daughter joking around beside him, a faint, happy smile appeared on Yu's face. Mom, I've decided. I am going to become a streamer. Halfway through the meal, Jiang Xiaoxiao raised the glass of soda in her hand. She loudly announced at the dinner table. She had thought her parents would unanimously object and had even prepared a whole bellyful of arguments. But Jiang Xiaoxiao never expected that on Yu's and Jiang Jiandong's faces. There was no sign of surprise. Mom, Dad, aren't you surprised that I am pursuing this career? A great sense of doubt appeared in Jiang Xiaoxiao's eyes. He Yue and Jiang Jiandong looked at each other. Both of them put down their chopsticks, shook their heads, and sighed. You little devil. You were like you were possessed at home the past few days, fiddling with live streaming stuff. Your father and I aren't stupid. How could we not know? He Yue smiled and lightly tapped Jiang Xiaoxiao's forehead. Your mother and I discussed this a long time ago. You kids have your own thoughts and ideals. We're old now, and sometimes we can't keep up. But our family doesn't need the money you earn. Your mother and I can still work for these 2 years. Jiang Jiandong and He Yue looked at each other, smiled, and continued. Just go ahead and pursue your dream with peace of mind. This is the only support we as parents can give you. Upon hearing this, both Jiang Xiaoxiao and I were a little moved in our hearts. Mom, Dad, thank you for supporting me. Jiang Xiaoxiao was a girl. She was more emotionally sensitive. I felt that this girl, Jiang Xiaoxiao, was about to be moved to tears, but she tried hard to hold them back. Speaking of which, I also experienced being a streamer today. Jiang Xiaoxiao sniffled. She buried all her feelings of being moved in her heart. She talked about her first experience as a streamer. Mai and He Yu's attention was immediately captured. They were also very curious about the first time their daughter was a streamer. Today, hundreds of thousands of people watched my live stream. I was shocked too. Speaking of this, Jiang Xiaoxiao secretly glanced at me. As for me, I had a calm expression. I continued to sit beside her and listen. When Jiang Xiaoxiao told her parents how successful her live stream was today, both Jiang Jiandong were extremely surprised. The two of them had no idea that their daughter had such talent in this field. Jiang Xiaoxiao had made an agreement with me beforehand. When it came to the donations, Jiang Xiaoxiao's words became much more vague. The Jiang family ate this meal in a harmonious atmosphere. After the meal, after I finished packing my luggage, I took a bunch of keys and found Jiang Jiandong. Dad, I have something to tell you. Jiang Jiandong put down the magazine in his hand. He looked at his son who was returning to university tomorrow and asked, What's up? I smiled and placed the bunch of keys in my hand, next to Jiang Jiandong's hand. Dad, I have a surprise for you and Mom. I've learned a lot from my teachers at school recently. I also used the money I had to invest. The market has been good recently. I made a small profit. I think our family's restaurant is too small. If we're going to do it, let's do it big. Hearing this, Jiang Jiandong's eyes widened slightly, vaguely guessing my intention, but he couldn't see through his son's decision at this moment. Are you planning to give the money you earn from investing to your mother and me? There's no need. Just let your mother and me handle the business at home. You and Xiao just focus on your studies. If you earn money yourself, just keep it for yourself. No need to give it to the family. Before I could even finish, Jiang Jiandong had already said a long string of words. I shook my head helplessly. I knew that if I gave money to my parents, Jiang Jiandong and He Wei would definitely react in the same way. At this moment, I was very glad that I didn't choose to directly give them several 100,000. That's not it. Dad, these keys are for a large storefront I just rented, about 200 square meters, with 3 floors, upper, middle, and lower. I think our family's restaurant business should be expanded. Hearing what I said, Jiang Jiandong's eyes immediately widened. At this moment, He Yu also brought milk into the bedroom. Hearing these words, "Oh my god, why did you secretly rent such a large storefront? How can your father and I manage this?" He Yu put the things down. She hurried over and said, I smiled and told He Yue to sit down. Mom, Dad, just listen to my explanation first. Our family's restaurant business isn't bad. We should have expanded the space a long time ago. This time, I found such a large storefront. One reason is for our family's business. He Yue and Jiang Jiandong realized it was because I was thinking of them. Hearing me say that, Jiang Jiandong and He Yue looked at each other. They looked at their son with a hint of doubt. Since I returned this time, the most important thing was, I had changed a lot. I had become more mature, more assertive. And at this moment, they once again felt that I had truly become a pillar of the family. This kid acts first and reports later. I said with a laugh, I did it for you, Mom and Dad. I hope you can get some good rest. With a large space, it's definitely impossible for just the two of you to manage. I am thinking of hiring a few people. Our restaurant's business isn't bad. At that time, you two will only need to be in charge of collecting money. That way, it's both relaxing and you can oversee everything. Hearing this, Jiang Jiandong and He Yu's hearts were stirred. Their son was sympathizing with their hardships. After realizing this, in He Yu's and Jiang Jiandong's hearts, there was an indescribable feeling, an emotion mixing, both being touched and joyful intertwined. It made the gazes of these two parents soften a great deal. The emotions in their hearts couldn't calm down for a long time. Jiang Jiandong reached out and patted the shoulder of his son, who was now taller than him. You're grown up now. Much more thoughtful in your actions. Good. From now on, let's listen to our son. He Yue at the side also nodded. This store is located in the commercial district. Business will definitely not be bad. During this time, you'll have to work hard and run around a bit. Dad, find a few reliable people. I told Jiang Jiandong about the specific location and the general situation of the store. Some of the major matters at home are all handled by Jiang Jiandong. He Yue is meticulous and responsible for things that require finesse. I believe that under the management of Jiang Jiandong and He Yue, the store's business will definitely not be bad. Alright, let's stop the discussion about the store here for now. You have a flight tomorrow. Go get some rest early. Seeing that the clock hand had passed, Jiang Jiandong stopped being polite and shooed me out. As soon as I turned around, I saw Jiang Xiao leaning against the cabinet. I heard everything. Jiang Xiao blinked slyly. I smiled and walked over, and directly snatched the small piece of cake that Jiang Xiao hadn't even taken a bite of. Brother, that's my cake. You're bullying me again. I finished the cake in 2 or 3 bites, then put on a very enjoyable expression. This tastes so good. Seeing Jiang Xiao next to me fuming with anger, I even grinned wickedly and added fuel to the fire. I am doing this for your own good. You're going to be a streamer in the future. If you get fat, you won't look good on camera. Before Jiang Xiao could grab me, I had already escaped into my room. From childhood to adulthood, Jiang Xiao and I have always grown up with this kind of playful bickering. For a moment, Jiang Xiao was feeling a bit reluctant about me returning to Jiang Cheng. But after that recent bout of teasing, the feeling of sorrow from parting in Jiang Xiao's heart had dissipated quite a bit. The next day, at the crack of dawn, I packed my things and quietly left home, because I really didn't want to face the reluctant gazes of He Yue and Jiang Xiao when saying goodbye. I first drove to the hotel where Shai Si Yao was staying, to pick her up. There was always a smile on Shai Si Yao's face. When she came to Shang Cheng, you could say she brought a belly full of grievances and loneliness with her. But when she left Shang Cheng, she was full of joy, and she even had me by her side for company. So it was hard for Si Yao not to be happy. This holiday was so short. Seeing the familiar sign of Jiangcheng Airport again, Xia Xiao sighed with a smile. In the past, holidays spent at home were extremely torturous for Si Yao because she had to stay with her stepmother, Liu Yan, and also had to endure Liu Yan's occasional mischief. But this holiday now had helped Xia Xiao escape the troubles at home, and also made Xia Xiao feel for the first time that happy times always fly by so quickly. I smiled and rubbed Xia Xiao's cheek. We don't have any classes in the first week of school either. Rounding it up, doesn't that mean we get another week off? Hearing me say that, Xia Xiao also suddenly realized the university schedule isn't like high school, where every day is packed with classes, according to the class schedule. It's true that in the week after National Day, Xia Xiao's class has no classes at all. So that means we can have another holiday in Jiangcheng, like a mini National Day. A joyful smile appeared on Xia Xiao's face. I smiled and nodded. I took a taxi and brought Xia Xiao straight to a hotel. You must be a bit tired after the flight. You should get some good rest. I helped Xia Xiao put her suitcase in the room, then turned and left. Xia Xiao still had time to rest in the hotel, while I had other things to do. After all, the company on Lai Xiaodong's side was almost ready. Now, everything was in place. All we needed was the East Wind. For an investment company, the East Wind is the investment capital. Currently, I have 50 million in capital from Lit Tianming, 9 million from the store mortgage loan, and 30 million in investment from Aunt Tang. Including miscellaneous funds, I wasn't far from a small goal anymore, but I would absolutely not complain about having little capital. I even planned to try and prepare some more capital. I took a flight this morning back to Jiangcheng. As for Hui Zi, the one holding a large amount of capital and contracts, she was actually on the same flight as me. It's just that Xia, Si, Yao, and I were in first class, while Hui Zi, due to her financial situation, chose to sit in economy class. After getting Xia Xiao settled, I met Hui Zi in a coffee shop. Although Hui Zi had been sitting on a plane for several hours, she was still full of life. There wasn't a trace of fatigue on her face. It seems your condition isn't bad. How are things with the loan and capital? I asked, while sipping my coffee. Hui Zi skillfully took out the relevant documents and contracts from her briefcase. Aunt Tang greatly admires and praises you, Mr. Jiang. Currently, the 30 million investment capital has been transferred to the bank account. You don't need to worry about the bank side either. It's already in the account. Hui Zi presented everything clearly and orderly. I was still very satisfied with Hui Zi's work capabilities. After all, I didn't misjudge her in the beginning. This is the address of the investment company, and the person in charge is Lai Xiaodong. You can contact him. I directly gave Hui Zi an address and Lai Xiaodong's contact information. Hui Zi nodded and put the things away, taking her things to report to the new company. I believe Li Xiaodong will definitely arrange everything for Hui Zi properly. It wasn't until Hui Zi reported to the new company that Li Xiaodong found out I was back. Brother Jiang, that's not cool of you. You came back without telling me. Over the phone, Li Xiaodong's voice was a bit loud. I shook my head helplessly. I just got here myself. Besides, even if I told you, you wouldn't have been able to pick me up. Of course I couldn't. You have no idea how busy I was this National Day holiday. Lai Xiaodong complained on the phone, because during the National Day holiday, Li Xiaodong had to finalize all matters for this investment company, including other big and small tasks. Before I returned to Shangcheng, I had handed over all other matters of this investment company to Lai Xiaodong. Actually, from my perspective, this was also a way of training Li Xiaodong, and indeed, Li Xiaodong had been trained. The price, of course, was being so busy, he couldn't touch the ground. Sometimes Li Xiaodong even got home later than his father. Li Tianming is the person you found reliable. Not just anyone can be an assistant. Li Xiaodong was still a bit suspicious about Hui Zi suddenly appearing at the company. I said through my Bluetooth headset, "Don't worry, there's definitely no problem. If you say there's no problem, then I'll make arrangements for her." After ending the call with Li Xiaodong, I had also arrived at my destination. It should be noted that in the stock market, there are no absolute rules and methods. Investors need to make decisions based on their own situation and market changes. At the same time, investors also need to remain calm and rational and avoid being controlled by emotions. A politely dressed employee in a suit immediately came forward. "Sir, are you here to look at cars or?" the employee said as he led me inside. I adjusted the sunglasses on my face. "I am not here to look at cars. I am here to pick up a car." Hearing that I was here to pick up a car, the employee's attitude became even more courteous. After all, due to the price and style of a Ferrari, not everyone can afford to buy one. These people are definitely not minor figures that someone like him could afford to offend. Therefore, I received very meticulous service. I only had to wait for a little over half an hour before I got the car. You could say that such efficiency was already very fast. When I saw that Ferrari, I fell in love with this car at first sight. When I sat inside the car to drive it, I have to say that the driving experience of this Ferrari is excellent, but because the related license plates weren't ready yet, I couldn't drive this cool car on the road for the time being. Speaking of the license plate, I feel that this reward satisfied me the most was the Jiangcheng license plate. After picking up the car in Jiangcheng, I could get a Jiangcheng license plate. You have to know that nowadays, if people want to get this thing, it's entirely based on a lottery. Some people draw for 4 or 5 years and still don't get a license plate, while someone like me doesn't even have to lift a finger. I get a car and a license plate as gifts. You probably couldn't find a second person like that in all of Jiangcheng. "Sir, all the relevant procedures are complete." The manager smiled and handed the items to me with an extremely respectful attitude. Since the Jiangcheng license plate needs a day for approval, I didn't plan to drive the car away for now. "Keep this car here for me temporarily. I'll be back to pick it up in a while." Before leaving, I gave an instruction. The manager over there immediately gave me a number tag, saying he had helped me store the car in a dedicated garage. After getting in the car, I thought for a moment, and then called Hui Zi. "Hui Zi, there's something I need you to help me with." Hui Zi had just finished arranging the work at hand. and was a little surprised to receive my call at this moment. But as soon as she heard there was work, Huizi immediately focused and listened. I need you to help me get another loan. Apply for it at the highest ratio. It's for a Ferrari under my name. I instructed Huizi gently and told Huizi to find some time to come to my place to pick up all the relevant papers and documents. Huizi felt this task wasn't difficult. After all, she had handled loans several times already, so she could be considered familiar with the process. Perhaps this is the world of the rich. A Ferrari. Just like that, after sighing to herself, Huizi immediately went to prepare the related matters. It could be seen that Huizi was adapting very well to her new identity. While Huizi went to pick up the car, Li Xiaodong finally had some time. Brother Jiang, it was so hard for me to get a little free time. How about we go out and have some fun? Relax a bit. Li Xiaodong had blocked me early in the morning. As I was about to go out, I thought for a moment. I didn't have anything to do anyway, so why not go out and relax with Li Xiaodong for a bit? This could be considered mixing work and leisure. Where are you planning to go to relax? Hearing me agree, Li Xiaodong broke into a smile. There's a new bar that opened around here. My friend opened it. How about you come with me to liven things up? Brother Jiang, I want to introduce you to my friend. From now on, we brothers can hang out together. I glanced at Li Xiaodong. This kid's face was full of excitement. He probably planned this a long time ago. After getting in the car, I casually agreed. Expanding my social circle isn't a bad thing. Rich second-generation kids like Li Xiaodong. The people he hangs out with are all either rich or powerful. There's no harm in befriending these people. Consider it as another friend. Another path. This newly opened bar was lavishly decorated on the outside. The lights were dazzling.